lighting up the dark, but there's nothing I can do. I can never get to you, so I'm looking for a miracle. Like if somebody be so beautiful, yeah. It's only a dream, it's how I feel. That you deserve better than me.
What is up, chat? What is up, chat? What is up? Hey, the news. How is everybody doing? इंडिया में मजाक से हटकर जिंदगी में फर्स्ट टाइम क्रिकेट देखा. फर्स्ट टाइम आधे घंटे में 5 विकेट. हाँ, आधे घंटे में 5 विकेट भाई. इजी लॉबी था. हाँ, है कि नहीं? चलो
2025 was his year to grind.
Thank you so much for the membership, मेरी जान करते हैं. क्या लगता है? ओ तेनो बिडू लोग क्या वो लोग?
Last time was the proof. Now for the punishment.
Alpajer, let's go DJ bhai. बोल डालो. Easy है भाई, Fnatic.
He's been leveling up all tournament in his final form. It's Camo!
Come on man. वीडियो लोग देख रहे हैं, हैंडशेक एंड ऑल.
In his battle for his 8th appearance on the global stage, IGL
yeah! जीत गए. चलो 3v2 है.
The only time today he isn't lurking behind you. Welcome, Nats!
बाप रे, क्या हो रहा है भाई. भाई क्या हो रहा है बे नाट्स का बे.
From underrated to
बे है. Nuts is him. Yeah.
More likely to 1v5 than Batman himself. Introducing Master Wayne!
EMEA का हर मैच मजेदार होता है और आप देखते नहीं हो. लैंग्वेज एक ही नहीं देखा बेशरम. ग्लोबल रिपोर्ट का ग्रुप देखा बंदा? नहीं, मैंने नहीं देखा. नहीं.
He may be mini by name, but he'll strike fear into your heart. It's Minibu!
मिनीबू है. मिनीबू भी है. भाई नट्स का अकेले का ओरा कितना ज्यादा है बे.
And with the coaches Milan and Lohan, one last squad is destined for Santiago.
क्या लगता है क्लोज जाएगा चाटिए?
All right.
3-2.
One more ticket to Santiago. is ready to get punched. It will either be Liquid or Fnatic. But to start things off, Billy, we need to look at the map veto. We need to hope that both of these routers are going to be setting themselves up for as much success as they possibly can. Fnatic starting things off with Corrode.
Yeah, I think.
Where is Chronicle? Next game आ रहा है अभी फिलहाल ये game देख ले.
Both of them banning their insta ban throughout this kickoff event so far. No surprises there. I think the first thing that
भाई मजाक सेट कर मैं तक गया हूँ यार.
being chosen so late, given that the last time we saw Fnatic play, it was Vakaj on the jet. Wasn't exactly anything that we could get excited about, despite being excited in the agent select. So yeah,
he did say it was going to be better.
चला अगली बार इतना clash नहीं चाहिए बे.
Liquid have left it so late into this veto. I don't know what you think, Bea.
If Vakaj is having the performance that he had yesterday, I would leave it for last as well. And I think it also has to do with confidence. Do not forget the composition that Team Lucan
कल का देखा कल का नहीं देखा.
How that works for Miniboo and how he's able to snowball
Mac volume बढ़ाओ
the future. So I
और
actually
बढ़ाओ
like that.
पागल हो गया.
Combo it with a little bit of the insecurities that we've been seeing on the side of Fnatic on that map. I think it's a good map to start things with for the side of Liquid. For Fnatic, it makes a lot of sense that they want to go with the Corrode again. Remember, this is at the end of the rematch of a best of 3 we saw earlier in the tournament. And yes, things have changed.
BO3 है BO5 जो जीता मास्टर जो हारा घर.
Yeah, I think for Corrode, right, they had moved away from that double initiator composition and leaned into their strength of that double duelist. And whilst Fnatic had a shaky start of kickoff,
कल से नॉर्मल सिम शायद कल एक दिन ब्रेक ले लूं भाई. कौन को अभी तबीयत गया है ऐसा लग रहा है मेरा भी जाने वाला है.
Throughout this series, that's going to be what helps them punch their ticket to Santiago.
And when we speak about performances that might snowball, Alpha could be one of them. Do not forget some of the crazy, absolute madness rounds that he had.
Cosplay है favorite agent Viper.
So I also think that it's a good testing ground. Also, Abyss being the third one, that is going to be such an interesting match.
Break ले लो KitKat वाला. बात तो है.
From Fnatic, what we saw against Vitality, they definitely have their
numbers. देखो क्या हो गया?
Historically been so good on this map.
Sore
like even
throat
last year, they still repeat many of the rounds that we saw in the past.
Sneezing.
But they still work. And do not forget, even though this is a best of 5 and technically it's the last day of the tournament, it's a final, but it kind of feels weird because it's like there's been a lot of play.
Or headache.
The time to prepare is close to none.
Yeah, I have to agree. And I think to touch on the topic of Abyss, that has obviously been a flawless
Barrel tension थोड़ा वो रहेगा रे.
But Corrode, right? We have to speak about Corrode.
Weather under the weather.
Tell me why you're screaming.
What do you mean? Why are you not screaming?
The Wayne stage?
Yeah, the Wayne stage. I was gonna
Common cold बोल दे रे बाबा ये वाला.
Like I don't know, where do I start?
ये वाला common cold. Yep.
There is a lot to unpack here, and of course we will have to wait until they start playing to see.
But genuinely, I don't know where is Darke.
If we speak about stopping power with a Sage, with a Brimstone, and with 2 stuns, or kind of a stun, if you think about the double duelist, I want to see how much of that is going to be selfish play for the
MABR versus Energy Watch Party. देखते हैं पहले ये होने दो. देखते हैं कितना एनर्जी बचा है.
Is the solution?
पहले एक BO5 फंबल करती है. Hopefully आज ना करे यार. अगर कल फंबल नहीं करती हाँ तो दोनों गोट अपने जाते थे लेकिन एक और नया गोट मिल गया हम लोग को. मार्टिन मिला हम लोग को. मार्टिन
that Nats is playing an agent for the first time on such an
New
important
goat.
map. It was the Waylaying champs and today's Brimstone.
But that's the scary thing about Liquid. We've seen them change their compositions.
Speech बोलते.
They haven't been sticking to what we've seen from them. So
बंदा ऐसे वीडियो में क्यूटी कपल थे आप पर गांव जला दी मेरी.
I mean, do not forget something that I had highlighted in these past few weeks.
Go करो.
Liquid love a composition change. They did the exact same thing against.
भाई मजाक से हटकर अगर एक भी टेक पॉज आया तेरा बाय का आत्मा जाने वाले. प्लीज ये मैं इफ यू आर लिसनिंग टू द वाचिंग स्ट्रीम जो मर्जी करना टेक पॉज मत करना. उसके जगह पे टाइम आउट लिख दो चलेगा. अगर मैंने आज के दिन टेक पॉज पढ़ा हाँ मैं सच्ची बोल रहा हूँ
Well, it's time to punch that last ticket, Tom. Both of these teams have had one hell of a journey here.
Read my comment. Nice.
Bracket run and Fnatic falling by a round in the previous final. And it really is fair to say either of these teams could have, it could be said they've earned their spot on the international stage, but sadly only one of them will
आज
make it
पता
there.
चला आपने कि 4 सेकंड को स्मोक्स करना सिखाया सॉरी खेलना सिखाया लव यू लव यू टू मेरी जान कटे लव यू टू मेरी जान कटे बाद 4 सेकंड का इंपैक्ट देखा घर जाएगा डब्ल्यू बनने लगता है मेरे को अक्रॉस ऑल रीजन हाँ चाइना का पता नहीं लेकिन तीनों रीजन में तो कंफर्म
everybody that came into his path and the man opposite who many do or at least should put as the best IGL in the world is not making it to Santiago and it all kicks off here.
Barriers up and away they go. Fnatic
smoke.
playing quite passive down the bottom of mid. They've already been smoked off, but the pressure's coming in elsewhere as Liquid get aggressive on A main. The dog that Boaster was trying to break all the roofs. As Wayne finds one on top of his wall. An orb as well on the way out. Good early economy for them. Fnatic try to recover this man disadvantage. It's doubled up from Liquid in this corner. So much damage done in a previous game by Camo, but this time we see the numbers equalize.
कजक है वो ये क्या एंगल था बे
worrying start caught by a surprise. Fnatic have been able to recover. The space taken was massive, and what a man that we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on this map. It seems like his home turf of Corrode Althea has given them the advantage.
Short.
Back though, level things up for the moment, and even take an advantage with Wayne. It leaves Vekaj. He broke 100 kills yesterday in the best of 5. Here, he just needs 2.
That plan's certainly not ideal for him. Got to get a move on now with the smoke down. Suspects a player in heaven. Great read from Vekaj. Goes in to stop this before it gets 2.
वो उठा क्यों नहीं हेलो
It's not a bad idea. Sticking it in that moment. Not many players would dive in like that, but Vekaj built different. That's going to be a Red Bull clutch to kick us off.
मारा भाई भाई ये क्या एंगल है भाई
Fnatic clutch to start out the game. It's something we expect quite a lot of, I'm sure.
भाई क्या मारा बेटा
made a name for himself just in the last game alone.
तेरी तो ये ले
Space of a few rounds where he put off 2 of the greatest clutches we've ever seen. But I think we have to sort of caveat this map a little
यहाँ
bit.
पे एलेक्स में रहता था ना
I'll be
टिल्ट रहता
honest,
था अभी तक
I expected
क्या
Liquid
कर
to
रहे हो
ban.
भाई
I didn't think they'd even try and play this because of how good Fnatic have looked and because of how poor they've looked on the other side. But
क्या कर
they
रहे हो
have completely changed their composition. They've swapped the roles, they've swapped who's playing what, they put Mini Boo on an agent that we've seen him pretty much tear apart teams. If they were ever going to play this map, this is the way I'd like them to play it. This round, though, I can't see them, unless they get exits, I can't really see them doing any damage at all.
Yeah, that wall sitting there has to be
1
broken
2
first.
3
They're actually going to go through it together, looking for the fight as 3.
shot
It's very hard to find the value here, especially when the split like that. And okay, the stun might make it uncomfortable.
oh
for
my
player 2,
god
some
क्या
damage
मारा
comes in,
बे
but
अल्फा
they're
जहर
gonna survive.
A little bit more cost than maybe they would have liked, but
भाई क्या मारा बे अल्फा जहर
pistols available. It's really
वकाज भी ऑन द वे है गुड बंदे की लिस्ट में है वकाज अच्छा प्लेयर है
I suppose it's a good time to ask then,
लेकिन
Tom, how you
अल्फा
feel
जहर
about
इज अल्फा
this
जहर
map, but with how the veto overall has gone down,
Huh?
where I know we spoke before the game.
You are so
said you
stupid.
sort of see this being like a 3-1 to Fnatic. Are you sticking with that now?
Yeah,
Alpha
I
J,
think
Alpha J,
especially the first few maps, I'm a little bit worried because you got Corrode. I think I heavily put to Fnatic. I think Bind, I lean to Liquid, but it's definitely not definitive. Abyss, I'd say, is fairly heavy. If it goes further,
एक
I think
लिंक
that's where
दो
it starts to
लिंक
get more interesting. I
फिर
think
मार्टिन
Breeze is
वर्ल्ड
great
रिकॉर्ड
for
क्या
Liquid
किल्स
in
का देखा
split.
मैंने
Maybe a little more up in the air, like the
कल भी
aggression
परसों
that
भी
Wayne put onto this stage. Obviously, normally
परसों छोटा
he's been
रिकॉर्ड
sticking
कल बड़ा रिकॉर्ड
to those smokes.
2
but
गेम में बहुत मारा उसने
allows him to be that little bit more aggressive, use some of that individual skill that has been spoken about. And with Fnatic putting quite a bit into this round, obviously it is still a bonus.
आजू बाजू भाई सब बढ़िया ये अल्फा सेंटिनल किल के 30 मारता है हमेशा
Wayne is on a tear. Yeah, I mean, you started this map out talking about him, and for good reason. Yesterday, those 2 clutches.
He normally only does it when everyone else is dead, though. It's a bit unfair if he just does it at the beginning of rounds.
ऐसे क्यों लग रहा है लोगों को सेज भारी पड़ने वाला है फैनेटिक को
In terms of that wall early on, we've seen it towards A main, but we know that there's plenty more angles. This could come into play. A nice attempt with the flash thrown out.
Blind
The
six.
number's already too far behind, and Wayne will be the one to find a fourth. Rez online coming into round 4, and one on the board for Liquid.
Yeah, already just seeing
But hey, be.
with this guy, I guess being a little bit let off the leash. Like when you're playing the Sage, you can be more proactive. You can have those aggressive fights and then put slows down to make it awkward for people to swing you.
अपने बंदे के पीछे से
And
मार
just
रहे
giving
हो.
him the backup to use some of that individual skill, which, hey, if the guy can get 3 kills while on 5 HP, imagine what he can do on full HP. A great
Hey,
round
Gion
for Liquid to kick off. But
करने का तरीका बड़ा casual है, language.
They have an ultimate
भाई इतना दिन
available.
मैं सो ही नहीं पाया हूँ. कहाँ से on
We'll see
करूँगा?
if they can now start to build into this attack side a little more.
I think the main thing is, though, if it's, well, never mind the theory crafting, Liquid are going aggressive right off rip. 3-4, walking down mid. No presence on A that they fought for with that wall a couple of times now. And they're conditioning their opponents, but Vikash ends up with 2. Purple doing his best to pull this back, but they're stuck up close. And Team Liquid need to make something of this aggression, and they have, sending Boaster
Ek right
into a
में,
clutch.
left में.
The first already found, but the spike down in the open. A crossfire, but while the smokes come in, Boaster takes his
and
takes Team Liquid 2-2, but it's a bit of a nail.
यार sexy मारा था
It
बे
seems
booster
to be
ने.
very much within the Liquid wheelhouse. We saw this versus Heretics. I think we saw this versus Vitality as well. Their goal is not to necessarily beat you with their game plan. Their game plan is to stop your game plan. It's get in your face, it's get scrappy, it's fight you before you can get anywhere near what you wanted to achieve. And this round is all about that. They never stop pushing. They're fighting for the spawn towards the end of the round. And well, Nats, sure, it came down to a clutch.
Nats बोलते.
A huge economy advantage. They get to come in with an outlaw for this next round, and well, Fnatic, a few pistols and a Guardian. It's definitely a low buy.
Nice exec already. Kayak, though, not able to punish that kill up close. The quick reactions of Camo got him out of dodge in time. And numbers here should be able to avoid that util coming through. Camo actually, steps back from the stun, but he might not even be needed. Coming through that smoke is clearly a death sentence. The brakes pumped now for Fnatic. The Guardian they have in play, the only real strength of this round.
को देखा कुछ प्रेशर वैशर है नहीं, वॉल करने का भी जरूरत नहीं है. यहाँ पे हम लोग फालतू का इतना वॉल करते रहते हैं. शॉट कमो.
They need a way back in.
आराम से अल्फा जेर है. आराम से.
Still see Alpha here alive, and I still believe that maybe there's some hope. He's been having
आराम से.
rounds on this.
आराम से मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
With peaks like that, when he's got a Guardian in hand, he's going to get tagged up by the Tiger, but I don't know if there's really a world where they push this, and honestly, I don't mind that from Wayne. He's been getting so many kills that the Reds will likely come back online in a few rounds anyway. And instead, they're going to put pressure on. Eventually, they'll seal the
Not
deal.
even close, baby. Not even close.
It is still Liquid to extend and get the lead.
Well, I think coming in with the low buy, rushing into that site where, you know, they're denied their initial aggression. They had the stun put down to try to catch Camo, but he gets out. All things considered, that's a pretty good win. Just getting the res out. I think Fnatic will have a smile on their face coming out.
Any idea why
coming into this one,
Wayne was picked by Liquid?
Rifles and credits put on the line. This should be where they put it on the board. They don't let Liquid run away.
Batman ने बोला Liquid
the
को.
lead was just claimed.
उठा करके.
Yeah, I think also Liquid in this map can take those risks because they must almost expect to lose it.
काम करता क्या रे Liquid में मैं?
Just an immediate fight forward, constant pressure being put on.
भाई EMEA के ऑडियंस में चलो crowd.
Camo is as well.
Series 1 चालू होने दो.
Fall back, run for the hills when
मारा अल्फा ने.
comes through, but instead they fight forward again. The W key.
अल्फा राउंड हो सकता है? नहीं हो सकता.
Just isn't stopping, going for more and more.
भाई कुछ ज़्यादा ही मार रहे बे Wayne.
As 4 players remain on the other side, the first comes easy, maybe not.
भाई Wayne कुछ ज़्यादा ही मार रहे बे. Bunko, you need rest, that I know.
On the map that we had questions about how they'd perform if they could match up to Fnatic. Well, in the
That's true, I would like to agree.
as the 6th ends,
Check studio, हुआ क्या परचे? दिख रहा है क्या? अभी दिख रहा है.
Nothing really since then. And Team Liquid
दिख रहा है बकवास?
early aggression.
Let's go! Let's go!
He's dead right, in their face. That's how they're playing. Heads up Valorant. And it's different positions every time as you try to slow them with the smoke, or even as they put smokes down, denying you that control. They're invading those smokes on Team Liquid.
पंकु दिख रहा है. Product clicks 8000. एस्टिमेटेड रेवेन्यू पता है 150
for Fnatic in those games. They have been the squad that have been able to sort of take those victories over the line in majority of circumstances. And I do think realistically, that's where a lot of people will be thinking that this is going today. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from Liquid already. Bear in mind that when you go back to
कोई ना early days है अपने business का अपने business का early days है मेरा 25 है मेरा ज़्यादा
They got double that already, and they've not played it as a defense. They played it as an attack.
not bad
The best defense, a good offense.
3 दिन में 150 रुपया not bad.
To practice on the server. 5 seconds left. The timeout from
टेक्निकली लोगों का भला हुआ और मेरे को वड़ा पाव मिला. टेक्निकली देखा जाए तो विन-विन सिचुएशन. भर दिया मिनी बूथ ने.
No pressure on the shoulders of Team Liquid.
कोई सी नहीं को था.
5v3. Also, no need to continue this aggression, but they are feeling it, and that could be their downfall. Pride does come before the fall, and a big mistake there to continue pushing the issue.
You get into the mindset of W gaming.
From कोई सीन नहीं है एक को था.
They've given guns over.
तू अबे एक को था.
Much further back, but
नहीं कोई सीन नहीं एक को था.
Taking out for Cash. Now leaving Boaster in the clutch again, and is he going to go all the way around?
सीजन का ड्रॉ देखा.
I know it was a bait. It was a bait.
अभी तो मैं क्या पूछ रहा था कि स्टेज 2 कब से चालू हो रहा है?
To lock in on a different position. In the meantime, Nats is right back.
आपने खिलाफ शादी हो रही है. मैंने तो बोला था किकऑफ में कोई माना नहीं.
Still means there's a chance for Boaster to isolate the fights though.
Fielding strategy की.
They are just waiting for that plan to come through. Whether it will be orbital strike, I mean, it will be a big commitment to throw in. Molly, on the other hand,
एक बार कुछ अच्छा हो जाए.
Rotate, wrap around from Nats, contain that.
Deep roll bye. Thank you for the visit.
An unusual
That's
strategy for that with the gap in the Molly. Or
not even close.
But either way, very well handled. Another round for Liquid. Yeah, they do overheat. I can almost understand it. They just called a pause. You crush them like that right away.
Anyone know what business?
No, continuing the aggression. It's usually too far. That's crazy.
I genuinely think if we ever introduce
Fashion influencer बोलते.
agent bans and you're playing up against Minibu, you ban Neil.
Cooked Binks में Frost visitor में OP होगा. OP का पता नहीं यार wins चाहिए मेरे को.
I saw a little bit. That was what it was.
At this point, I just need wins.
I feel like
चाहिए अभी किसका वायर भी काट दिया ना इंटरनेट का तो भी चलेगा. तो भी चलेगा भाई.
Oh, 5-2, 5-round streak from Team Liquid here.
2 दिन गाली खालेंगे.
Give to Fnatic and
चलेगा.
Liquid are giving them nothing. Almost got him through the wall there. Alpha's wondering if he
Which business? Salesman business.
Still, aggression coming through this
Mara.
time. It will be punished. The slow
Oh,
goes
नहीं,
in.
जगह था आगे.
And these players are saying,
अयो,
able to just about get out.
गलत
A nice
अल्ट
idea by
हुआ.
Liquid. This time it doesn't land.
Yeah, I think Alpha's probably one of like 5 players that have been quick enough to hit that reaction shot of a guy flying through the air.
What? You do
Thankfully,
तरफ में?
Fnatic do have Alpha here. Gives them the advantage, wall placed. Almost as a bit of a bait.
Language!
Minibu's looking to get rid of the aggression on the other side is punished though. The push and pull of Fnatic starting to come into effect, and you look how open that B site currently is. However, Nat's getting in early enough. He's going to be able to smoke it and slow them down.
This is so good from Alpha. The second his wall got tripped, he walks back. He feels that space should now be that bit more open. And he could be right if noise was made on B. And the knife goes through. Here's the ult as well. That's such a good fake. I saw it in the cam as Alpha called for this play.
Poster मारा round जीता same.
They might think Minibu.
Karvan भाई जैसे.
The last man standing on this side of the map. The steps heard, and that's Wayne's chance to strike.
Karvan भाई down.
The other side of the map. This is far from over. And the wall, along with the slow, it's gonna cost them so much time. Fnatic make it in. The slow buys them space, but they need to stand their ground on this swing, and just about in the nick of time, the plan comes in. A recovery.
भाई कैसे slow नहीं हुआ बे?
Disaster for Fnatic. And
How about do I open the
cafe?
cafe? Manager litmus? नहीं. सब बेचारा अच्छा खेला था वो. सब बराबर किया था वेद ने.
Nats is basically hoping for a mistake, and he's going to get flanked on instead. Kayak with the wraparound, and Fnatic will gain their third round.
जीत गया 3 मिनट का फेर ना.
The streak of Liquid.
भाई क्या हो गया?
Still had moments where I feared, especially with Wayne on that angle. I worried he was going to just take this whole thing down.
Again, really good work by Alpha to start out taking that pick and then the read towards that A site.
पोस्टर दे रहा है क्लीन किसके साइड पे मेरे को नहीं मालूम है किसके साइड पे जो जीता
Let's go, my bro.
And the call to go back to the A site, what wins them that?
Let's go Fnatic baby
Since the follow up to the pistol, it's been a big streak from Liquid. And because of that, Fnatic won't be facing an eco anytime soon. Ops still in play. It's for Miniboo on mid. Fnatic might be giving them an opportunity. The smoke's not going to stay around forever.
It is worth mentioning as well, though, that while this might seem a little bit worrying for Fnatic,
obstacle के through नहीं होता slow कौन सा उतना बड़ा obstacle था
8 rounds
डब्बा तो इस तरफ
versus
था
a 6-0 versus Liquid last time and 10 versus Foot. And with Miniboo now down,
Reader.
even going to
Reader.
utility straight
Reader.
in on towards Wayne, but he has just walled himself into a corner. You can't get me if I can't get you either.
Yeah, give him time to recover. Now the smoke down as well makes it so hard for them to use this off that was seen just moments ago. Wayne caught. He's made it just about around that corner. Half his HP gone, little heal, but unfortunately, Nat's going back to fight for the space to deny that plan, to at least make it costly on the health bars. He's lost his
strong,
life,
and
immediately the call from Liquid is to go for the save.
Fnatic strong
I think that
पता नहीं बस इस प्लेयर बहुत स्ट्रेस देती है वॉच बटे में Fnatic चिल है सब चिल है
claim all of the
Fnatic
space.
स्ट्रेस तभी देता जब भी प्लांट नहीं कर पाते
Still safe in the corner. He can't do
तभी बहुत
anything
स्ट्रेस
while
होता
they encroach on the rest of the site, knowing
बाकी
that they've
चले
already
बाकी
cleared
चले
out Miniboo. And then Alfie has utility. Take away any of their weaponry and then make it that if they want to flee, which they do, because
कितनी टीम गई है अभी तक मास्टर्स अभी तक कोई टीम गई नहीं है क्योंकि मास्टर्स थोड़ा टाइम बाद है ना तो लोगों का फ्लाइट वाइट अभी मतलब सब टूर्नामेंट खत्म होने के बाद है
some of the earlier rounds, and I said if they end this off 6-6, I'm still confident that this is their map.
Certainly no reason to doubt it, but in the back of my mind, you think about what Liquid have shown us so far. They've had some good ideas when it comes to early set plays. FNC! Stage walls and so on. We saw that dive through from Camo.
FNC!
The orbital strike. No doubt there's plenty more up their sleeve. If they can just keep eking out a couple of defensive rounds from this point forward, they'll be pretty happy. 5 already on the board. How far can they push it? It's the question that remains to be answered, and with their credits dwindling,
by fact बोला
the answer to that.
Yeah, it's very cool that they have this many set plays on a comp that they literally didn't play the last time they played this map, which was yesterday. So it's clear that Liquid have been working on multiple different comps.
इस बार पैसिव्स खेल रहे हैं लोग
terrible idea, and I don't think they did that.
उनके मुंह पे वॉल डाल के आए अल्पाजर
Would be dedication. I'll give them that, but no, I think this is clearly something they've had in their back pocket. Maybe a slightly riskier comp if the last one didn't work out, which it didn't. But again, Fnatic doing what Fnatic does best. These slow rounds, figuring out the map, looking for openers, giving Kayak opportunities to try and find a pick with the operator. Wayne on the other side, though, is just like, well, you can put a wall down, so can I. I'm just going to, again, delay. And that's what this Sage is almost perfect for. Let him fight forward. Let him use those slows if anybody tries to make a pacey hit. And then let me make it more awkward for you. You have to break this wall, otherwise walking through this gap.
10 टीम हो गए हैं
easy for me.
Qualified 2 टीम होना बचा है
I mean, this is just going to give you so much information. They've broken it, so there were players outside. Team Liquid happy to sit down on that control, push up towards B main as well, take that deep information, and from there, Fnatic almost forced to run into a stack. Now, they've only seen one with that suppress. And now no one's in the corner. You start to think that it could just be that solo defender. The Sage should be somewhere now taken down. See one guy left on site. Let's go in, but there's actually a backup. There's a second player here. Flash pop. Purple still standing. Dominates the duel.
टाइम नहीं है
Round is for Team
Oh my God, पर्पो ने राउंड ही निकाल दिया
flying under the radar has caused it to
अरे
go
यार ये
crashing
लोग
down
इतना
for
स्लो
Fnatic.
क्यों खेलते
It's just, there was milliseconds in that. Literal milliseconds. Him trying to jump out of the way to flash his opponents and then landing both shots in that split second. Because even though it was so late, look, 10 seconds on the clock here, 8 as he goes for the kills. If he dies there, they still get the point, they still win the round. Like, that is how much of a margin that came down to for Purpo.
look at my molly. Wait.
And as you can see, well, he had no choice but to look at your molly, mate. It almost killed him. But to be fair, even if he just cost him an extra 1 second, molly lands, still can't get the plant. It's a really nice play from Team Liquid, and I think they responded to that info perfectly. Again, that late wall from Wayne, buying so much information, and you have to really commend Liquid for what they brought to bear here today. As you said, that's a quick turnaround in the comp, but this looks like something that's been rehearsed for a long time. Except for that fight, but the second man there, again, it is kind of a bait.
It is literally bait. You're going to fight. I assume there should have been some sort of retreat plan, but that plan wasn't taken. And then you've left Miniboo. The problem is he now feels like he needs to get a kill. Otherwise, it's just untraded and you've fallen back. And, well, even if there was a trap
मॉली है, last 10 second plan नहीं कर सकते.
Really don't care.
ये तो मेरे को मालूम है, तेरे को मालूम है, लेकिन क्या Fnatic को मालूम है?
This time they wait outside that wall.
That is the question.
Again, last time you broke it, they rotated in pretty quick. They waited. So now, they let the clock run a little bit, then burst on in. But the quick rotation and mini boost still sees that third player here. And now a danger in this corner for Judge. Oh, it's going to be terrifying. The jump shot. Oh, it's
shot, Wakash by shot.
But they're still standing with 3. Purpo looks to change things as they break through this smoke. With the flash, it will be the same in response. But Vakash
क्या बचा रहा?
jumps in return.
Huh?
Feeding up a healthy course of lead. And Alpha's there with the
Chat.
Fnatic.
वकाश क्या बचा रहा है आज?
I didn't think I'd
समझ
be
रहे हो?
coming into this map, Tom, but with how things started, it's quite
वैलेंटाइन के बाद कहाँ सोए थे? By the way, love this duo. इसलिए बकचोदी कर रहा था क्योंकि नींद तो मिलने से रहा. सीधा कल सोऊंगा मैं 2 दिन बाद.
He's watched far too much Jack Eye go bots. I mean, I don't know if he's singing Maroon 5 down there, but I wouldn't be surprised.
By clean, be Wakash by clean.
To play that anti-flash. 6-5. This was looking pretty damning at 5-2, but as said, Fnatic comfortable on that defense. This is so aggressive from the defensive side.
Fan board.
Miniboo's running through. His own teammate smoke, and it's smoked out wonderfully. Just a complete wipe.
भाई ये लोग push करके round जीते.
And they'll take the lead at the half.
You know, it is a bit derivative to say there was no strategy to that defensive side, right? They had set plays, they had plans. It feels like they threw the playbook out the window in favor of
Smoke through blind, वहाँ पे slide wide मार रहा है.
looking strong.
किसको पता है एक ऊपर है, कोई तो नीचे है, पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है.
Your body knows. A sense of victory. Seized when mind, movement, and gear ignite as one. Now, step into your zone.
Very style. Fnatic का मैच इतना जल्दी कैसे हो गया हाफ? MIBR वर्सेस एनर्जी किसको सपोर्ट करेंगे? जो जीता मैच उसकी तरफ. टेंशन नहीं है, अपना एकदम सिंपल है. Someone's award boost reasoning is so lost by सोचो बे. Lost होके वहाँ पे मास्टर्स के लिए क्वालिफाई कर रहे. Fnatic का इतना सारा अचीवमेंट्स है, हाँ. और इधर तेरे को हो चुके ना तेरे पास मेंबरशिप है, ना रेडियंट जा पा रहा है. नहीं मतलब कौन हुआ? जो तू सोच रहा है वो कौन हुआ? सोचने वाली बात है. सोचने वाली बात है. 6-7 किया गया उसने.
Welcome back, folks. A surprise performance from Team Liquid in the first half of Corrode, leading 7-5.
बस्टर रिटायर होने के बाद नॉट Fnatic जन क्या तो कैसे रहेगा? फिर Fnatic जीत जाएगा क्योंकि फिर देखो बस्टर रिटायर हो गया, नॉट Fnatic गया, फिर Fnatic जीत जाएगा. लिक्विड नहीं जीत सकता क्योंकि वहाँ पे 4 ही बंदे रहेंगे. तो 5-4 खेलना पड़ेगा मेरे हिसाब से.
I think this is where it definitely gets a bit tougher for Liquid. Obviously, again, last time they played this map, they got 0 rounds.
Please don't hurt me.
Fnatic. So even though that was a good first half, there still needs to be more in the tank.
मेरा नाम क्या है?
This comp has been far more impressive, more exciting than anything else we've seen from them on this
nice
map.
try है short out के लिए. Tips and tricks मैंने देखा है.
Steal Corrode away, the one that's I feel like meant to be the surefire win for Fnatic. This might
फोन
be the
कौन सा है
confidence.
अभी आपके पास 25 अल्ट्रा पता नहीं कुछ तो टॉप नॉच फोन
The
है
pistol could put Fnatic on equal footing or
Oh,
send Liquid flying into
दिखा
the lead early on in this best
दिखा
of 5.
दिखा
On the
भी
map,
पूरा
I think
दिखा
most
तभी
people
पिक्सल दिखा था
expected
एक बार
Fnatic to
श्योर
have
कर
a
दिया
fairly
उसने
easy time, but it's been anything but. Rotates from Liquid.
22
And
A पे
again, they've
है
shown presence A main. Now 2 players coming through this connector. I mean, this is clearly a split of the A site. That's clearly where they want this fight to go, at least from the perspective of Fnatic. But as we can see, there's something else cooking here from Liquid.
बिंकू भाई कभी रेडियन गए क्या घर जाएंगे 3-4 बार
On that side of the map when 5 players come bursting through the gates. I don't expect him to do much other than grab the info.
I'll see if he can get one. It would be nice, but yeah, he's sitting all the way back, hoping to try and maybe just hold
इतना
on to some
दर्द
of the
क्यों देते हो
space.
बक्स
That'll
भाई
be a bigger issue if they lose full control of everything. It's going to be tough. Vekac has already just gone through and managed to get himself one for free. That's Nats out. He's the exact guy you'd want in a post plan. And in the meantime, Liquid have got aggressive. They've taken full control of the spawn and even swinging back in.
अरे भाई क्यों चेक करेगा मिनीबू
to be that aggressive in the last two, only just getting into position.
Well, nice shots from Crashies, but
बड़ी
one
कास्ट
kill,
तो
2, still 2 more to go. Miniboo up top will swing wide, and the Bandit closes this round. Liquid
यार
8-5 with a pistol already under the belt of Fnatic again. You know, if this was the second pistol for Liquid, it kind of explains the scoreline, but they've looked better when it comes to rifle rounds.
भाई मिनीबू
This is
ने
very worrying.
क्रेजी टप्पे दिए लेकिन
There were moments. But again, I do feel like it's almost going to get to a point where you're the coaching staff, you're Loan, you're Yatsin, you're watching Miniboo play Neon and just go, oh, we just got to put him on every single map. Like, he
Let's
just
go
runs
Liquid
around and
बंग
fries
अभी वैलेंटाइन
people
का मजा आ गया
while they're
उसमें
trying to
लाइक
just
कर
set
भी
up
थैंक यू
for
सो
things. Like, he's
मच
the
पर
most
जो
disruptive
वीडियो
player I
में
think
जो
I've
हुआ
ever
था
seen
लास्ट
play
में
this
अगर
game.
ना करो यार
Well,
ना करो यार
let's just say
गौरव भाई थैंक यू फॉर द 200 मेरी जान के उठे लव यू
everyone on Liquid's outside A. So unless they do a
Free
fake
round.
and run all the way back, which they're not doing, I think this is just going to be 5 players trying to die to the spike.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance. At least an orb found for Crashies. 4 away from the Hunter's Fury now, but for Liquid, this is the chance to build up major economy. They've already got the one pistol in the form of the Bandit in play.
चाहते
For
देख लो
Fnatic to actually do
लिक्विड विनिंग दिस मैप
damage, they need 2 picks.
मैं क्यों लिखूं मैं खुद
Playing
बोल रहा हूं
back in with
लिक्विड
these
जीतेगा
classics, that's not going to be very easy. Alpha's at least got the Bandit. He'll go first, and he will go.
नाट्स बोलते हैं
Straight
नेवर
out of the
फ्लैंक
round.
नाट्स नेवर दैट्स रूल नंबर 1
Anything out of this one.
Yep.
That's just the calm.
Never
Nats, who
flank Nats.
completely ignores Kai
Nah.
diving over the top because he knows that. Okay.
कभी कभी कर ले कोई चीज
This
नहीं है
really shouldn't be very costly, lads. This should have been a nice, clean one. This should have been
Up
very
there?
easy. You've just lost yourself 3 players.
What just happened?
दो गन गया ना
That was
लेकिन
a
दो
couple
गन
of
गया दो
SMGs
गन
gone. Okay, it's not the end of the world, but 1 rifle goes with it. And yeah, that is as good as that ever could have gone when you gamble
अच्छा
on
गया
one side of the
एक्चुअल में
map.
अच्छा यप यप
Yeah, especially with the initial fights going the other way. They've done a remarkable job. I need to see what Crashies did here, because he was tucked in the spawn. Look at this, 5 versus 2. There should have been no damage from this point forward. Kaya gets a lot done, but then
The thing about Crashy
और
is he can just
बाप
do things
रे
that nobody
कम्बों
else
को
can.
बहुत
Like
क्रेजी
yesterday,
मारा
he was
उसने
playing on the stage, and I was watching him stream as well. It was really weird.
yeah, right. I don't know how he did that. Super
कब से हमको
positioning.
यूज
That's
करते
a
हो ताकि
big
मैं वो
step
अवॉइड
forward.
करो
Keeping up the
लैंग्वेज
lead. I'll have to have a chat with him after. Figure that one out. Pick his brain. 9-5. Round 15 sees Liquid pick up the pace straight in towards this A site, but they're falling flat
इजी वन
as
टैप
they go running through that choke point.
यहाँ से
There's only
comeback
3
है
left. 2 losses. Damage done to Wayne. That's almost taking him out of the round.
1 HP
यहाँ से
contract.
कमबैक है यहाँ से
There's the
कमबैक है
heal at
चैट
least. He's also got some coming in from Sky, so back to reasonably decent health, but man advantage doubled up on. Too soon.
दो बंदे दिखा
Taking their time. Ooh, almost. They do have to be a little bit careful, but Nats has now gone on the other side. Wayne, he's a little bit healthier. Also has res. I don't think he's getting out of here alive. Well, Crashies makes sure of it. 3 players standing.
वेल शाउट आउट बोलते Fnatic is back baby
Well, yeah, I think we've just witnessed maybe a small piece of what Liquid are going to be attempting. That was so quick on their way into the site, but
Group Alpha देखा मैंने नहीं
Yep, they win the opening fights. I think there's no reason for Liquid to come into that, underestimating their ability in those duels.
Brackets ये सब matter नहीं करता बे.
Lights him up and just misses probably 6-7 shots in a row. That's what happens. But he did a lot of damage, and I think the potential is there when it comes to the buy rounds that Liquid are about to pull out. A res there as well, so even if they stumble early, they can pull players back in. They have to contend with Crashies on this big old gun. You know, if you can't beat him, join him. And he's doing a good job at least to start.
Wait, किसने कहा था account hack हुआ? एक second के लिए.
Way back in Champs. How's he gotten away with? He's out.
Bro, मार के निकल भी गया.
Madness, and with Purpo and the Sage.
yeah.
Purpo can get healed back up, and then he can heal us to the other player.
Huh?
Ridiculous.
I don't think that's something that they've thought about too much when playing.
Bro, मार के भी निकला.
It's going to be infuriating for Boasty. You have a guy dash in, dash out, and then just run through the smoke and find a pick. Kayak's now going to try and beat them at their own game, but Purpo just waiting on the other side.
बारे पर ट्रेन फुपी.
Still two players wait on that.
चलेगा. Next round guns है ना. बारे बहुत पैसा है.
I don't think they're going to.
अभी next year.
He's not yawning.
तुम लोग को भरोसा नहीं है क्या? हाँ?
Chance to pull this back. 100 Fury's still there, but Crashies has to secure his back. It's this pick. Oh no! That could decide everything. Well, decision made.
It's not broad.
Crash did dodge that flash, though. They won't expect him to be this far forward, but the chance converts to one kill. And Alfier probably just wants to save this weapon for the next. Good thing he's got his wall behind him. He's relatively safe, but double digits for Team Liquid. Fnatic trailing on 6, and a dominant round like this, how they get there, this is a terrifying thought experiment, really, when you expand that to bind, where Liquid will be more comfortable than this, but I can't even visualize what that would look like. They look so at home here on Corrode.
I don't know.
कितने लोग देख रहे हैं? चैट 5500 लोग देख रहे हैं. हल्का से यूं करके इस साइड आई से गिरबान के अंदर ऐसा यूं जाके लाइक कर दो ना. 1 सेकंड लगता है लाइक करने को.
Seeing that pace, but I like the layers to it.
बाकी लोग शॉपिंग करो.
Super quick in, having that second layer of just a risk.
जो दो नहीं कर रहे मेंबरशिप ले सकते हैं.
As Fnatic try to react, they're still just holding that space. They're not allowing them any control. Also, I wonder if a part of this is avoiding Alfia. Like he's had his setup both times on that.
अभी के टीम गेम देख के लगता है स्टेज 1 पे कुछ उखाड़ तो सकते हैं. Let's see how well they train.
Well, if he's going to man the B side,
you have a good point. लेकिन जब तक यहाँ पे ट्रेनिंग हो रही है, वहाँ पे लोग मास्टर्स खेलने वाले हैं.
I don't hate it.
और उसके बाद वो लोग का भी मेहनत होने वाला है.
I don't blame you or him. Oh, chance there for Wayne. This for Liquid, the push towards the A side sees the same pace. The hinders even landed.
बहुत फास्ट घुस रहे बे लोग.
Does have some support though. Not under too much pressure just yet, but with Bakash down, it has to be Boaster to pull them back into this as he falls. The A site should be for Team Liquid, but Crashies, he reveals his hand. He's showing them that he's here, and the dog spotting him has ended the round. A res just to double down. Liquid knowing how important it is to crush Fnatic's economy and to find themselves that 11th. He's made it out at least, but then there's a double swing coming at him. 11-6 for Liquid. Home stretch, well and truly mounted.
When do they move Alfia to A? When do they put him there? Because it is genuinely just bombard that elbow side. Just constantly hit it with pace. And also, it's sort of like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, it's working for Liquid. Keep running it down until they stop us. Keep doing it again and again and again.
अपना मैप था नहीं. वो glitch है.
He's just pop flashing every time to go for these aggro picks.
The difficult part about this is, though, you can't almost just call it A play now. You've just called a timeout. The problem has been A. It certainly hasn't been B outside of the pistol. So then you come to this conclusion of your Team Liquid of, hey, they're taking a moment. What do you think their solution's going to be? It might not necessarily be to put Alpha there, but you have to imagine it's either some defensive or aggressive stance on that side of the map.
But then it becomes the mind game.
Problem है कि वो लोग में वेले नहीं है.
No, but it's not even that. If you're Fnatic, you're going,
अपनी टीम लिक्विड है, वही तो मैं बोल रहा था.
So now they'll go B. And so then maybe you change nothing. It just becomes like a pure mind game. I want to see Liquid go A again. I think that's
10k likes भी हो गए, बस glitch हुआ है, ना करो यार.
They counted us. Now we try one of our other strats.
मेरे पेट पे यू लात ना मारो. अच्छा वाला वीडियो में आप और पे के सबसे क्यूट है. Thank you.
Where the mind games have landed. Fnatic, for now at least, seems like they've not changed much at all. They have left Althea over on that B side. The problem is, and this is the one factor we didn't consider still, is that this is an eco round.
Base
Strategy doesn't matter that much.
उसके बाद mini bolt.
You got to still have ideas when you come into them, but the fact that Liquid likely to hit that 12. Whatever was discussed better be an airtight strategy.
They've just thrown the dog into B early and then not actually sent anyone there. It's just, well, I think again they're playing passive early to see, as you said, what are they taking space? Are they trying to trap us somewhere? But the fact is, Fnatic actually aren't doing too
Alpha
much
को बोलो final boss बनने time आ गया है.
What I would almost like to see Liquid do here is break that wall, is get some of that information out of Alpha's hands if you want to drag the rotate, and you can see they're clearly expecting some sort of a reaction early around mid, containing that space with Wayne's wall, but then
guns
nobody made this a completely different round from Liquid for that reason, but they still end up here, coming through connector and set, assuming that the trap has been put in towards A main, but instead Fnatic have played back. That still didn't stop Kayak from going down to the spam, but here's the bookie. A chance, an opportunity perhaps with his back held, but Mini Boo just
मारा है उसने.
This round is done. Alpha here, the last man standing, and well, his name's already in the history books. This one would
वो आउरा है, वो आउरा वाला सीन था. ये आउरा वाला सीन था. इसमें कुछ कर नहीं सकते थे. कोई और रहता तो जंप नहीं होता था वो वाला. वो आउरा वाला सीन था.
They would have just assumed, oh, watch map 2, we're going to win the first with ease. Well, the shoe's on the other foot here.
Yeah, and a lot of the time you're going to go into those first
What's like
your strengths. I do think there's some mind games played in the beta
कौन
as well,
है?
maybe you
इनको लगा Fnatic जीतेगा करके. Knowledge game का एक ही नहीं.
be the one that ends up being the
अच्छी टीम में भाई
the one
Liquid.
that seals it, which of course would be Abyss, which again
बाप रे
is
पहली बार smile कर रहा है, speech नहीं दे रहे बे.
probably the weakest map that Liquid played versus one of the strongest that Fnatic play, and it is looking like the opposite right now. Liquid in form, and their opponents yet to really show up to the party, especially in this second half. Boaster will kick off, the pressure put on, Hunter's Fury thrown out to delay that B hit. They were finally going to go B. But they might have been denied at the door. No, they're pushing.
Now they've committed so much already, and Liquid have won when they forced the issue. My God! Purpo used himself as a sky flash, got Camo the kill. One away now from Convergence Path, by the way. The spike is holding deep into spawn, which I'm not a fan of.
अरे मारे happy birthday Shivratri, stay blessed. Love you Akshay, same to मेरे जान के रोटे.
The plant here. Hell, or if he goes and gets a pick, I suppose.
Blue में सुपर अलग ही दिखता है ना mod का.
Just picks up an op.
Red वाले भी वैसे दिखता है क्या?
And you've already got the advantage.
Well, they've avoided.
And the heal on Camo.
The one time the setup
oh
was on the
my
other side.
God,
they
GG.
avoided Althea again, and now the Nats operator has taken over. Althea, he's been the last alive in every single round, never having a chance to have impact. They've avoided him, they've dodged him, they've had their alpha radar available the entire time. Does he have anything to keep them in their map choice, to stop them going 0-1? In this series, there's a second. Third as well. Maybe this is his moment. No, it is not. Nats will stop him. Accessing the site, and Liquid take their opponent's choice to start things off 1-0.
This has completely turned the tide of how we expected this series to go. Liquid.
Not even close. Not even close.
Dominant display. Now, well, the world is their oyster. Time to go down to the stage where we've got ourselves a little halftime check-in with Purpo.
Congratulations, Purpo, for this first map. We saw very aggressive comp from you guys on Corrode, and you cooked with that Sky. So I was wondering, you know, is the secret to beating Fnatic just running at them and throwing flashes? And is that your plan for map 2 as well?
Well, like a kind of.
So we just decided to run it down this morning, so that's it.
Run it down and ending up winning. Congratulations.
Thank
you so much. Let's see if Fnatic can bounce back on map 2 after a short break.
बता बंक्स में मॉड के 40 रुपए की सुपर चैट.
I want from
ये
us
तो
for
मैंने
this
सोचा
game.
ही नहीं.
I was watching the game yesterday, and every time they struggle, I see the poster face Nafik fully cooked. I want to see today even worse. I want to see how we Nafik run them down, and this guy thinks why he plays Valorant. I want to see his face, so Nafik he thinks that I don't even know why I started that. Let him Nafik forget about 5 years he played the game, so he will remember that day. Okay?
Women will want.
नार्स भाई का ये रूप.
Have a break.
Hello?
Have a Kit Kat.
Wingman World while wanting a well-worn break. Vamos!
Vamos! भाई नार्स भाई का ये रूप. है जी. W नार्स भाई, love this motivation. Language. वो demotivation है वो.
Red Bull gives you wings.
हाँ? मजा आया लेकिन. हाँ? मजा आया. मैं फैनेटिक के साइड पे हूँ लेकिन मजा आया. मजा आया. मजा आया. चट पड़ते. Both must have hurt him real bad in the past. Possible. What aura है बे? Aura है. That's evil. Yup. That by है. गाना अच्छा है. आओ भाई, क्या लगता है आज होएगा क्या इन्हें? भाई मेन प्रॉब्लम पता है क्या? आज बहुत खाना खा लिया यार, तो एक साथ डबल एनर्जी जा रही है. 2 दिन का खाना एक साथ क्या है. भाई घर लेने में कितना % प्रोसेस हो गया है? थोड़ा. अब तो आई वांट बूस्टर टू शो हिम हु द रियल गोट इज. तुम लोग आपस में मत लड़ो, वो लोग को लड़ने दो. हु द रियल गोट इज.
Another change in your comp in this whole bracket. How do you decide when it's the right time to take this risk and whether they'll pay off? I mean, you take these risks when you know they have a better world than us, so we had to cook something that we thought it will be more towards our strengths. I think it worked out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. When it does, we are a genius. When it doesn't, you are dumb. So today, I think we are a genius.
We are a genius, yeah.
All right, some wise words from Lohan there. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe not. Maybe not. Can I say that word?
60% of the time, right? It works every time.
It worked this time, and this is when it matters because in this lower bracket. But most importantly, before we even break down this map, this composition, how everything went. That Nats speech felt personal, Kakuka.
Is Nats the ultimate villain? Because we've been talking about his speeches and whatnot, and we've been painting this picture of him being such a nice guy, such a cool guy to follow.
Composed,
yeah. Being like always on the light, and now he's going towards the dark side.
Well, I mean, identifying a weakness, we were talking about this on the cast yesterday. You could see the energy immediately turn. Well, drop off a cliff yesterday for Fnatic. Yeah. Again, as soon as they're on their feet, making noise, giving it across the stage, so Nats is obviously targeting the fact that they were looking at tilted yesterday.
Absolutely, and you can. We heard it in the speech from Nats. I mean, even Lohan saying in the coach confession, like, "Oh yeah, you know, they're better than us on Corrode, so we'll just throw something at them." But just like you're just leaving
मेरी गॉक फटी पे किचन में गया मेरे पीछे कुछ तो इंसेक्ट मेरे पे गिरा ऐसा.
But there was actually a lot of nuance to this comp that I actually really appreciated in terms of.
मैं स्टार्टिंग में टच किया तो मतलब ये क्या है? फिर बाद में पता चला इंसेक्ट है.
A way that really
क्या था पता नहीं.
What's been Fnatic's strength or kind of trademark? By the way, starting with the wall over the top here.
Love that.
That is the good because he walks the talks.
Their ethos going into this.
Yeah, and you might think.
सुनो अपने दोनों गोट है ना लोअर ब्रैकेट में थोड़ा सा. हाँ आराम से. Walks the talks. अब बस मैंने आफ्टर स्ट्रीम रिपीट किया आप बोले फर्स्ट प्लेस. ग्रेन ऑर्डर पर चाइना में सेकंड थर्ड प्लेस ट्रॉफी उड़ा है. चाइना प्रोडक्शन डब्ल्यू पता नहीं. अपने इधर भी उठा रहे थे पैसिफिक में भी पता नहीं क्या सीन है. सबको मिल रहा है सर.
The hinder landed, but Nats uses the orbital strike, and it would have looked completely insane.
But this is the thing. There's a couple of really nice set pieces in there to highlight actually what Fnatic really struggled with, which was responses, right? Being thrown off their game plan initially, this default not really achieving anything, not getting any progress towards the site, and the worst thing is late round walking into a sage on a site. They were able to just put the wall up, sit behind it. Last 30 seconds or so, the last thing you want to deal with is a sage wall, then 2 slow orbs and a molly.
Congratulations to me. आज मैंने XUV 7/0 करी थी. 7/0 क्या है?
That's how you're going up against your opponents, and then you hear
XUV मतलब sumo लिया इसने.
Oh yeah, we were just
W मेरे जान के रे W.
While they're down, but also
Congratulations.
Low-key the exact same question in regard to the mood at Fnatic after yesterday's best of 5, so let's see what he had to say.
A long series yesterday that you prepped for the night before. How was this long stretch?
Booster better, humble, nuts and मजा आएगा.
Yeah, I mean, losing a best of 5 that way sucks, obviously, and it definitely impacted the mood. But we focused on putting and shifting the mentality quickly, and trying at least, you know, to bring good energy for today. And I think we've done a good job.
1 करोड़ की गाड़ी है, बेशर्म 150 रुपए का मेंबरशिप नहीं है. हेलो मेरे को लगा कैसे वाला गाड़ी.
I don't think it's that concerning. I'm not really that worried. I don't think the boys will be as well.
All right, good words coming through. Yes,
भाई मेंबरशिप का पैसा सेव करके लोग करोड़ों का गाड़ी ले रहे हैं.
Because I saw that look on your face.
We were just talking about this as well during that. It was like the little snippet we saw of Milan yesterday. Be like, are we panicking?
25 लाख का है. वाह 25 लाख ऐसा बोला कि चीप है करके. उसका नाम मैंगो है.
I'm panicking for.
I think that one of the the worrying scenarios here and the worrying thing.
30 लाख का है कोई तो उसको 1 करोड़ में दिया. Language.
Going with the operator and the attack, finding a kill, and then trying to go in that second layer, then finding Wayne's wall.
PS5 लेने वाला हो मेंबरशिप का पैसा सेव करके ना करो यार. OBC मेंबरशिप कैंसिल मेरा कल से. ना करो यार, ना करो. अपग्रेड करो भाई.
We are going to need that double duelist to be better than Team Liquid's double duelist.
Yeah, Bind, every time we talk about Fnatic, what really jumps to mind is the Raze as well. So from their side of things, hoping to see them bounce back on this one. However, it is Liquid's map pick, so if anything, considering what they threw at them on Corrode, I would not be surprised if we see something. There's no way.
No. Well, I mean, I wouldn't.
You think so?
I wouldn't be surprised to see some of.
Binks की चाहे तुम ऐसे was a real team में गुड़गांव में आए थे.
They get the success from Corrode on a map.
मेरा भी कैंसिल हो रहा है फिर मेंबरशिप ना करो यार.
You can choose. They're gonna choose it onto you. You can decide.
ले लूँगा मेंबरशिप. Don't worry Binks. I love you यार. Love you.
Some of those rounds go your way.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying
like, Miniboo can defend one side by himself with Neon. Who can do that?
I'm just saying there's a chance.
I agree. And honestly,
to hear Lohan say like, oh yeah, we're desperately trying to, you know, work on finding our identity.
Production by क्या बोल रहे हैं Nats भाई? We want to know.
With a brimstone sage.
With a brimstone
Production by.
say, nah, actually, we're expected to lose, so we're gonna run it down.
They won already.
They're just in like this whole like Liquid. I feel like is approaching this as like, oh yeah, it's just another walk in the park. We've been here in this lower bracket for this entire time. Fnatic's not gonna knock us out either. Fnatic never went to an international.
ये मैच कौन जीत रहा है वो बता. Easy for Fnatic.
From the Fnatic side of things,
I'm just
they're
saying
really locked in.
Easy.
Okay, what do you want to see? What do you want to see from Liquid?
Wow. The biggest thing for me again is designing some compositions that allow for them to be proactive and really take the fight to Fnatic. We saw a glimpse there. It was like let's get in their faces.
Bind है अपने लग गए हैं नहीं भाई अपना मैप पिक है भाई.
Issues with the defaulting of Fnatic. So even if there's just a slight change, maybe not composition.
मेमोरी से ले लिए मैंने अपने मन में.
But now that Fnatic has already been tested in terms
ऐसे
of
वीडियो पे
Liquid
ना
just
करो
running
यार.
into their face. We're not expecting them to adapt
Without
as well and to
sugar चाय कैसे लगता है casual.
They're so proactive. We're gonna counter that.
I'll caveat that. How many times did we see any adjustments yesterday when mates were taking the fight to them, leaving space open on the map? Fnatic was so slow to respond. There's another thing that alludes to what
Women belong in gaming. W. Mana कौन गया लेकिन?
In the mid round, we saw a lot of player reactions yesterday where they were just shrugging their shoulders, throwing their hands up, didn't know
उसका अलग ही चल रहा है.
to whiff in or losing out engagement. It was like, guys, what the hell's going on? They walked down long. They're behind me. They're on site.
You start losing trust in your
I think वो single था.
Like, are we really doing this the way that it's supposed
ना
to be done?
Fnatic को support कर रहा है ना Liquid को. Direct women को.
Is one piece of utility enough to disrupt an entire
I think वो single है. Yup.
More utility? Do we need a change in comp? Do we need another brimstone? I mean, that's not.
कोई मना तो किया नहीं उसको.
I'm sorry, Mike. Yeah, I know you really.
We had the right to dream.
I'm not disappointed until we get into a few rounds.
I also want to highlight the fact that we saw it, especially towards the end of the map that we just witnessed. Something else. Like
You cannot give lead to Nats
and
to come back. बराबर. मैं तो वैसे भी लीड नहीं दे सकता. मैं कौन सा खेल रहा हूँ? मेरे को क्यों बोल रहे हो भाई?
I know Sky's a little lost in terms of the meta discussion right now, but I think
because मैं 10k सुपरचैट की है. मन में देखो नाच करो यार.
Second duelist here, building around Minibu, who's obviously found his foot, found his confidence once more. Got a little bit of bravado about the way he's talking about his gameplay.
Bravado बोलते.
And that's locked in again on the speeches. Don't know which one it is this time around, whether it's personal.
Oh, I know EBS is paying her attention. Being like,
they're
okay,
down in the dumpster.
भाई
We
क्या
can do
speech
this, or
दिया?
whether
क्या
it's
speech
another one of
किया?
the motivational ones. Either way, for me, Liquid has come out of the gate swinging, and they look so incredibly confident. I want Fnatic to find that confidence back.
Yeah, confidence being key for me as well. We kept talking about yesterday how it was concerning.
जीत गया Fnatic.
Actually, it was on bind, being top fragged. A couple of players.
तो goat duelist.
Absolutely need to respond.
ना उनको smoke चाहिए.
Continue with this aggressive.
ना उनको reveal चाहिए. ना उनको prowler चाहिए. कुछ नहीं चाहिए. बस IGL बोल दे A या B बस.
Getting a little bit of momentum, just get a couple of rounds on the board and start, dancing at them. Just
get back on his
yes, yes.
Get them all on their feet, but for now they're all sitting in their razor chairs and ready to load into the server, which means we're going to be tossing it over to our casters, Mitch and Tom.
That first map has to be away.
बस मैं हाइक को देखेगा. मैं इधर यहाँ पे वाइफू को नहीं देख पा रहा. क्या हाइक को देखेगा?
Bounce back needed. Might have to happen on Liquid's map pick.
बिग्स भाई अमेरिकास मेरे को नहीं मालूम. अमेरिकास ये देखने दो.
That's where your mind goes, but we've seen Fnatic bounce back from worse situations. There is a clock on.
Like कर दे बोल. Like कर दे बोल. Sorry, like करो.
Fantastic map for Fnatic as well. So is it a death sentence heading here? No. But if you look at the last two games that Liquid played on it, you might be a little nervous. They're 13-3 versus Vitality, 13-3 versus Heretics. Two opponents that I think most people would have had them as less favored against. And they smashed them with their aggressive style. And they did it on the defense just yesterday, constantly pushing the bounds. As said, there was moments where Minibu was in the opponent's spawn killing them. So they need to stop this guy early. They need to remove some of that confidence. Otherwise, yeah, I think they're getting 3-0.
You could see Pal in the face making, Pal in the crowd making faces while you were going through that.
एक सेकंड वो 3-0 बोला.
Get that mana raise. Well, Team Liquid 0-0 starting out as the barriers go up. They have already swapped spots with the attackers. Minibu loves going down deep into their spawn, and he's found the first blood onto Vakash. You know what, Mike? You wanted to see him on his feet. I don't think he'll be standing up.
I was going to say, he was doing that to Chronicle. Why would he fear doing that to anyone else? Happy to run it down, happy to put the pressure on, and for the attack side, we've always known that Fnatic like to feel out the map. They like to go looking.
They fake करके beat करने वाले हैं.
You're gonna have to almost switch
End
your
movement पे
style up a
करेंगे
little
fake.
bit just to stop those early kills
Last
going in the way of the defense.
5
But now at
seconds.
least Crashies is trying to sell the idea that this is an A hit, but the other players are not looking like they're going that way.
No, this is quite a clear late
Nas
play.
by hurt है booster से लगता है पता नहीं.
Minibu standing by with the Sheriff. Remember, they don't have to commit to these fights, already having that advantage. The fall back as Purpose still has a flash. They can play
दो ही बंदे हैं.
into the retake, fight out of a smoke, take that front side control. Minibu's caught a bit in the open here. Already down to 50, revealed as well, but this is what it's all about. Waiting for that flash. Minibu going down makes it a bit more
Bro, Satchel ने बचाया.
Took Purpo down and puts Fnatic into the
Satchel ने बचाया. Alpha there बोलते, Alpha there बोलते.
Ends up with one somehow, but it might not play a role. And in the end, it's a cleanup for Fnatic.
Yeah, good trading. Good fundamental play. I think that was some of the issues they had on the last map, was just being caught isolated, and they end up losing those fights. And after it happens again early, like look at where he is fighting people. That's closer to your spawn than it is to the site.
Huh?
But it's the way they have their opponents back, and a little bit of luck, you know.
4v5 था
It
वो.
happens sometimes. 1-0.
बस बस जरा कपड़े का दुकान ऑफ कर देना. तुम खुद कर सकते हो. 3 डॉट पे क्लिक करके डिसमिस कर दो.
Maybe he saw what Nats was talking about earlier, about putting the pressure onto him specifically and try to show that, okay, you got the first map. That doesn't really mean too much. They know they're going to push. Of course they know they're going to push. So spamming that smoke makes a lot of sense. Nats is still here. Oh, Alpha just quick enough. That could have been deadly. Instead, oh, Kayak. He's taken space on the other side of the map, but at this stage, I feel like the remaining two are just going to look to go down to that spike.
I almost thought he was going to TP out.
Wow, baby,
Play
what
the
कर
rest of
रहे
the
हो?
squad, not take the risks, but
Not got much to
Kayak's
lose.
sticking around. Yeah. Even giving that over to your opponent. It's not going to be the end of the world. Maybe Alpha will be a bit angry, but
हटेंगे कैसे spike से?
body shot. This is the start that we wanted to see for Fnatic after a devastating loss in the previous map. You need something to get you on the horse early, and at least finding the pistol, having a relatively clean second round as well. And even
यहाँ पे
farming
कौन सा
up quite a
पटेंगे?
lot of orbs. You can see Alpha's now the one with the Marshal hunting down towards this site. He is 2 away from a showstopper, and in the next round that could help out a bunch. TP taken though. Those players will be hunted down. Alpha has a chance. He could end up with one, and in fact, both kills. 3K here. That has
Alt आ गया. Alt आ गया
his
उसको.
ult, and indeed he got a rifle on the run out. So a huge
Alt आ गया.
round in the end for him. And Fnatic, they come into the next round, rifles and a showstopper.
Yeah, that could have gone really badly. Like, they drop the Vandal on the
Well,
floor.
Nats.
I think it's Crashies that fell. Yep. But the fact that, yeah, Alpha cleans up the mess, gets his
We
ult,
go
and
next
then
map.
picks up the rifle at the end. That's about as well as that ever could have
Yep.
gone from the scenario they were in.
3-0 next Kickoff 4-0 बहुत ज़्यादा है बे बहुत ज़्यादा है 4 राउंड इनके लिए.
On Bind it was just on an absolute tear.
Gem can
flying
tweet देखो
across.
bro. देख रहा हूँ.
Real screen at a million miles an hour. I think they're going to need him here today with how his opponents have been playing. And one of the things Liquid did very well on the last map, especially on the attack, was they avoided him completely. They just went away from
मस्त है.
the final boss of EMEA.
क्या फोटो डाला है?
Went and did side quests, which included winning rounds.
Sexy. मजा आ गया.
It'll be harder to avoid him here, especially when it comes to that.
एक और
attack
फोटो
side.
डाला तो बताना.
The spear so often, and especially expected to be the case here. That showstopper to bring them into the site, and it will be B. It's under threat.
Delete क्या उसे फोटो? Lang badge.
Though, Purpo playing towards that elbow, flashing out. The delay of the snake bite, but a little different when Nat's going to invade that space. He's gotten so close, but a beautiful seize reveals him, gives the pick away, and now the pressure truly on. The showstopper still not burned from Fnatic. They've got that as a safety net.
Cinema.
in the back
Save,
pocket for a future
save.
round
Go,
as
go,
the
go, nice.
turn
Save, save.
seems to be coming easily into their favor. Team Liquid,
Clean, be.
they're running for the hills, and no surprise, Tom, they barely did a lick of damage, let alone no picks.
Yeah,
Clean.
I think that's just good research. Like, you look at the last map, it's a surprise. There was nothing in that composition that Fnatic could have done their research and read into and countered on the day. They didn't know what they were up against until they saw it in that moment. In this map, it's very different. Like, Nats has been doing these
Fnatic को एक टाइम आउट लेना चाहिए और बूस्टर भाई को स्पीच देनी चाहिए.
2021, he's still doing some of the stuff he's doing. You can see that Fnatic
Absolute
were ready.
Cinema Pro Max.
They put up this smoke, they put this in position. There is a chance he's in this gap. Let's make sure we check it. And that's always where Fnatic does some of their best work is, if we know what you're going to do, we can beat it. 3-0, it's early days, but it's already looking far better than the last map.
Yeah, and I think even from the pistol, from seeing Boaster stand in his
Fnatic.
it's so important to have this
Fan, अच्छा गन की नल्ली दिखी.
Yeah, it was too far back to actually reveal him.
Oh.
That power was what cost him in the end, and who knows?
Hey, hookah boy!
Hookah boy. All right. But no, it's so important to see him bringing that energy up on the team, because you can imagine how low you feel after a 13-6. You know this is your last chance as well. You'll be watching Santiago from home. His energy's looking better on Fnatic, but in this round, the opening pick goes to Liquid.
I watching it since 2022.
Yeah, that's been the thing.
मजा आया.
Fnatic. Okay,
पूरा 40 रुपए में चढ़ाई इसने.
The first tournament of the year.
Love you मेरी जान के यश.
But in 2024 and 2025, they did watch from home until coming back at stage 1. That's nice from Camo though. The slow, perfect.
भाई देखो simple rule of life है.
Giving them
जब
a two-man advantage. Minibu incredibly low, and Wayne's play is going to be fairly one-dimensional with him sat.
भाई परसों एग्जाम में पहला बोर्ड्स का फट रही है थोड़ी नर्वसनेस हो रही है. बेस्ट ऑफ लक बोल दो. लव यू बंक्स भाई. टेंशन नहीं लेने का.
Info found nonetheless.
एग्जाम्स का टेंशन नहीं लेने का. बस आंसर देके जा. जिससे घर पे पिज्जा.
Showstopper in the opening duel, that was so close. The right idea by Kayak, but the wrong execution. That flash though, a different story. He's got himself two. Eventually took down Camo, but here he comes again. The menace on the server, sliding around and finding one.
जब तब वाला सीन है. जब तब वाला सीन है.
Much more of what we expected to see from them. Some of this aggression that has caught their opponents out quite.
मेरा सारा साइन वहाँ पे क्यों?
Firing squad and then the reaction coming out from Camo.
By Minibu भी है वे player.
With this composition is if you fall into we lost a couple of rounds and play a little bit more scared, you lose. So you don't have the ability to do that. So the fact that Liquid still are fighting their opponents aggressively.
बस भाई आप बहुत बड़े दगड़दल्ले हो. ये Liquid का मैप पे क्या और तब से Fnatic बोल रहे हो. By the way. It doesn't excuse me.
Wasn't needed in the round.
Fnatic का मैप पे क्या भाई? कौन जीत रहा दिख नहीं रहा है? बहरा है?
Maybe used in an execute here. The double up in hookah.
Streamer को गाली दे रहे हैं.
Contact and then a second layer. The gun's been spotted, but Alfia still wins the fight.
Well, he goes hinder landed, and it's the TP play from Nats to try to find value. The orbital strike put down, but those players hindered can fall back just far enough. The blast packs, I think, helped Alpha, but he's left on 30. And with Kayak falling in that attempt to take space elsewhere, they are already so far behind with Alpha being picked off.
ये राउंड के लग गए.
It's dead in the water. Boaster and Crashies left to pick up those pieces. They're walking into the site that's stacked as well. The first goes their way, but now that's the end of it. 3K for Nats, a second round for Team Liquid, and they're climbing back already.
Yeah, I thought with the way Alpha got that opening pick that this round was going to be a different beast, but it was just that reaction once again. The immediate aggression out from Camo, the slow to give them space, and then Nats just popping his way through.
Ultimate sexy वो लोग सब जगह से push करके मारा है.
There's just layers to the
Movement क्या करता है लेकिन?
Now
when you think Nafik I will chill against him, I can chill Nafik last time when I played on Fracture, not now.
I think he's referencing that 1v1 he had versus Boaster, where Boaster picks him at the end. If he is, that's the thing that goes into my mind when he's talking about Fracture.
कुछ तो heavy चल रहा
है. The years, my goodness. There's the showstopper finally put through, and Liquid's responses, as you may have expected to go pushing, but Purpo.
Dog ने info दे दिया यार. Oh shit.
Kayak with the disruption into the spawn. Natsto. Ice in a
Oh,
furnace. He's
not कितना बाप मारा.
Here comes Miniboo. Getting space and locking these players in towards Lamb. Says he was watching the cross, but Crashies somehow survives. Left into the 1v1, but Boaster waits on the other side of that molly for the fourth
that's bye.
for Fnatic.
The back and forth has been crazy. The IGL's clutching out either round. And it's just the sheer pace of this one.
कर लो अभी भी टाइम है.
An aggressive showers push the other way.
भाई नॉट ने क्या दो मारा बे. दिखाओ ना वो वाला नॉट ने जो दो मारा.
1v1 where Boaster has to take down Miniboo.
Yeah.
No, this time
Not.
4-2. And that is quite a damning round for Liquid. The economy on the brink.
और वक्त भाई क्या सीन?
One of them in the hands of Nats, and while
मैं तो ऐसी बात कर रहा था यार.
it's actually Nats to find one instead.
Oh shit. Stream sniper.
Yeah, they ran away from the bark of that shorty and ran right into the bite. Crashies, he's waiting, biding his time. As Camo recovers a rifle, though, this gets a little bit dangerous, and especially for him, the wrap back from Fnatic. If this gets spotted, that could be the spike down, but space is good.
क्या timing था
They
बे?
managed to slip 2 players back. At this point, you know, all the info is slipping through the fingers of Team Liquid. They think they've got a good grasp on this situation, but I mean, the gate crash from Kayak might be the only thing that hints at this play going back in the other direction, if it's even taken. Because I think Camo's close enough to hear it.
Buster का बोला थोड़ा chill करे. Easy win करेगा. जाएगा फालतू में ऊपर बैठ जाता है.
I think he used his ult.
मैं कैसे बोलूँ उसको?
That's it. He's just sat with a classic. The only
Satellite
thing he brings
कौन
is
से?
information, but how are they even going to get there in time? They can't take the TP. That's being watched on the other side. And his goal is just to slow them. Just use the stuns as much as possible. But even those have dissipated. And now
बस भाई आपका watch party का watch party करो क्या? Lag match.
And there's the Viper Spit. They're just trying to delay for Camo. They're trying to give him space. If he could drop the spike, this round is basically over. And he's going to try and make that move. Already getting it on the flank. The spike just about being planted. I don't even think it matters anymore. Vekash has to clutch versus the whole squad. And it's the classic to take him down. Liquid surrounded them. And at many points, it looked like Fnatic were going to find the space. But eventually they got caught.
And we know this is in their wheelhouse. Whether it was Miniboo, whether it was Camo getting that deep aggression, whether it's Nats wrapping up behind you.
माफ करो मेरी जान कटे. Kings and bye. Love you.
I like the idea of playing it slow.
आप थोड़े दल्ले हो क्या? बिना सुपर चैट के मैसेज तो पढ़ा जाता नहीं. लालची स्ट्रीमर शिट फ्री का पढ़ा.
They were convinced this was a B play with 3 players still there, utility being expended to buy more time, and they still end up on A in time. And it's because of that decision from Camo to say, it's been a little bit too long without any
and Miniboo's like him throwing that in towards mid-A bought enough time for Nats to get there on Viper Spit. It seems like the response is going to be a pacier take. Weaponry weak, but Alfia still has a rifle in hand. Needed to win the fight, but actually Kayak gets it and now could pick up that rifle for his own.
भी मिला.
They do.
भाई वो अच्छा था बे. वो सैचल भी स्मोक में मार रहे, टीपी भी स्मोक में, फिर टीपी से ब्लाइंड करके दोनों पीक ले रहे बे.
They know that there's a player far outside the side, but soon they may
just कितना easy लगता ना?
That wall can go up and they can take the TP. Already seeing so many players here from Team Liquid. Fnatic, they hold their ground. They stand the line and fall together instead. 4
Not even close.
4 now. Team Liquid have caught up.
Got a job. Weekend your streams while sitting for my placement. समझ रहे हो? www. W मेरी जान कटे यश भाई. Congratulations.
Pushing B short in quite a lot of rounds. It's been a 3-man push there. And it didn't seem to make a difference. It got a little bit further than maybe they would have done, but for me,
भाई कैसे आ रहे round? इको थे ना?
A farming round. Nice. Got over halfway back towards his ult already.
मत पूछ.
The coach is giggling along. Yeah, this is
the moment. If we don't know, they don't know.
Have to slow things down again from a 3-0 start. They found themselves level.
किसी ने 0-4 बोला था शायद.
From their
4-4 हो गया. कौन बोला था बे?
When you come into this map and off rip, The energy's getting high. You're trying to lift spirits, and you also get a 3-0
Accidental video इतनी अच्छी थी कि मैं sad हो गया.
for you, and then it starts to taper off, and that's even harder to deal with. Is that return to the low energy, return to the lull.
इसके बारे में तो सोचा ही नहीं अपन ने.
Connecting some rounds on the back.
भाई यही रीजन था कि हम लोग ने वैलेंटाइन डे के दिन नहीं निकाला वीडियो. एक दिन बाद.
It is tied up with the last map.
It was a master plan.
The vibe here, it feels like it's slipping round by round with 4 out of the last 5 rounds going to Team Liquid. Now's the time for Fnatic to come up with answers.
कोई अच्छे से स्नीकर का लिंक भेज दो जरा. जड़ बोलते. Oh shit, मर गया क्रैशेस. Bro बच गया.
They're just going to flash straight through the smoke. Again, they're wrapping around the spawn, but there has to be a reaction from Fnatic. They're immediately going to start putting that pressure. Well, they were putting that pressure on towards the B side, but they are taking their time, and that time might be the end of them. It just depends how quickly we see the move from their opponents. And while Nats is going to be here and put the snake bite in to slow them that little further.
This has been what they do every single
Question
time.
is, ये लोग execute करेंगे alt के साथ या 5 जन टीम में मारेंगे और flank flank देखेंगे.
So close to coming to completion, and now there it is, off the orbital strike, and ult cancelled out for a piece of utility. And although Kaya finds 2, now the flank strikes. The spike is stuck in this corner. They might have the sight, but they need to get out. And the damage done leaves Purple with an opportunity. A low HP Kayak on the site. The pieces can still be picked back up for Liquid to continue this dominant run. 4 out of 5 rounds, but Kayak will seal the deal.
Bro, एक बार भी लेफ्ट में देखा बे, मरा तो मरा. है जी?
That round was all him. Like the delay that was set up by Liquid was nigh on
W
perfect.
be, actually W.
The molly straight after. He goes through with his TP and is completely alone. This is him fighting versus all the opponents while his teammates are just stuck in a corner, and he gets 2 openers and then even clutches it out at the end. This is the star power that we needed to see from Fnatic in rounds like this, and it will allow them a response.
Yeah, a moment to breathe, but not too
Any
much.
G matches है. अभी 4 महीना है उसको.
Liquid 1 away from Camo having ultimate. Same for Miniboo. That's being cannot be overstated. Team Liquid push down mid again. This time more tempered. It's slower and it's not giving the information away. They're holding for contact.
दो मारेगा.
Rashi's is about to give it, but he found the info.
भाई लोग क्या कैसे हर राउंड पुश कर रहे
Flash was perfect. Still, shots from the side are making this awkward until Vikash goes down. Now the players on the side have to worry about their flank, and somehow Wayne keeps the trades equal. A 2 versus 2.
क्या सीन भैया, हर बार पुश कर
Looks
रहे
like
हैं.
Nats is going to come around to meet Purple. They'll both play this from the flank.
That's it. Dependent on what Fnatic do here. They are baiting the plant. They are worried of
क्या हम सही
every
करो?
single
क्या हो
angle,
गया?
but maybe not the correct one. Alpha is watching though. That was the main fight. Now Nat's coming in on the flank. And they're still just baiting. They're
Guys,
still trying
Nats
to
है.
make him go for this. Make him take the 1v1. It is smart stuff from Fnatic. You want to try and surprise
कौन
us.
मारा?
You have time to spare.
6 to 4, a 3-0 start. It looked like it was all going to slip away, but Fnatic, they found their rhythm again. Singing from the same hymn sheet, and they
पनिश भी नहीं हो रहे वो लोग. हो तो रहे पनिश. पनिश किसने नहीं हो रहे? राउंड आ रहे तो पनिश हो गए.
Timeout from Liquid, their first in this half, and really the first time in the series.
ये लोग यहाँ पे पुश किया, वो लोग ने शावर पुश करके शॉट आ गया ना. Sandwich कर दी.
The thing is, the first map was 2 things. One, it was you throwing in a bit of a more risky you throwing in more of a risk, and then even if the game was close, that's okay. Then they started to run away with it. Well, your coach is going to be calling a pause, but now you're on your choice. You are getting these aggressive fights. You're getting into positions where you could take over these rounds, but Fnatic in the mid rounds are able to recover. And that's what it's felt like.
Well, can I have one more speech?
Someone like Kayak has been able to.
Chat 6000 लोग देख रहे हैं स्ट्रीम को लाइक कर दो मेरी जान के टिटू.
This one, it was just Alpha and Kayak trading effectively into the late, and then them baiting in. Okay, you want to surprise us.
सब लोग टेंशन में लग रहे हैं. जो आ रहा हो घर पे ना. Last chance है.
Planting, we won't plant. We'll wait for you. And those are the moments where I think that Boaster always has and always will truly earn his paycheck, is in the middle of the round, where he can call, where he can change the outcome.
You can have some generational insight.
Kajak ke paas ult hai.
Might be coming behind. We haven't
That's
seen
true.
it yet.
It was perfect this time, the first time at least.
First time, yeah. But when he baited the plan,
but
it
if
was
you're
Nats.
always watching for Nats, maybe you'll catch someone else.
Well, there you go. No, all part of the game plan.
ये Steam Beacon का क्या काम होता है?
4 on the board and aggression.
No
name
way.
of the game. 2 rifles and an ult for Miniboo. Look, they're still pretty decently armed.
Games खेल सकते हैं ना Steam में?
Pushed back from NEB control by the low buy. Again, I think they've made the right call by respecting this.
तरस नहीं आता मेरे पे कभी?
Pieces for
हाँ?
Liquid. They won't be
इतना
pulling
watch party करता हूँ.
Although now,
तो कभी तरस खा के question पूछा कोई?
That's the problem. That ult doesn't last that long if you don't kill anyone. So it's faded because they sat so far back. One of the main pieces is gone. I'm a little bit nervous seeing that orbital strike online because there's been so many set plays involving the slows.
बोसर भाई से बोलो Team Liquid एक map आगे है.
Potential to combo those two ultimates together, which is again something we've already seen. With Fnatic playing so slow, that potential builds and builds and builds. You can even see.
भाई इसके बाद अभी से Fnatic का map. Fnatic जीत गया बे 2-1.
Into the right place. The problem is they've kind of been faked out, and that's going to make it a lot harder for him.
It's gonna be 2-1, chat.
2 players spotted as well towards this B side. All the info there for Fnatic. Ults coming online in this and the next round. This could be a dominant close to the half. Team Liquid trying to thin out that herd, but only the one to be found in the trade so quick from Fnatic. There's nothing to be done but sit and watch as 6 turns into 7. Fnatic, 1 round left to play in the half, and it looks like they've recovered
6-7.
Unfortunately, on the defense, it is a lot harder to avoid Althea. He is 14-7 right now, and has just been ripping heads all the way through this half. The thing is, I don't mind the idea of reactive ultimates.
Normal ult मारा लेकिन उसका team मर गया था वो अकेले जिंदा था.
Was able to get them so much information that they're like, okay, at some point we are going to see Wayne pop this ult, so we just have to be aware that we need an angle to play around, and that's exactly what they did.
मेरे को आता है तेरा ज़मा कदम W. आज today नहीं रे. सारा कल से और परसों से.
Info get in post plant is pretty good.
फिर बोलते फाइनल के क्यों नहीं रूल से माफ करो.
The expectation clearly in Fnatic's camp is that
ये round जीतना ही पड़ेगा. 8-4 नहीं हो सकता. Heavy defensive map है.
To that in the form of the convergence path on Camo. So you see Fnatic just sit back. They're willing to let Liquid make the first mistake, and they know that
कैसे passive खेल रहे हैं Liquid अभी?
They stand a pretty good chance with the
हाँ हल्का सा last round में.
Provided Alpha stays alive, he's the guy that's got to get them in.
Yeah. Luckily, Kayak is.
Oh, Nats को देखा ना बे अकेला B side port करके बैठा है. ज़्यादा pressure आएगा elbow.
All setting up ready around that singular ult. The man on the other side, it's Nats, so fair. It's not a bad man to leave alone, but
that heavy read.
Easier said than done. Althea already setting up. 40 seconds left. No one is even close to rotate.
Heavy read, be.
Through the TP, and that's as bad as it could have gone.
My
Viper
God,
on Viper.
Viper.
Catch takes him down. That leaves the site open for free. Nightfall will be thrown in. They've got the information, but this is where that fast flank through the TP needs to come in, and the showstopper is going to buy them. Well, doing by the time. No, he's just going to send it.
Yeah, he's done damage on a Camo though. Here goes the convergence path. Now time to dive on in. Could be pressure for Althea. Down below, Hookah, and he's been spun on by Miniboo. Another perhaps, but no, the Kaz is there to greet him. A lead presence sent his way, Wayne. He's been sliced up and finished. 4 versus 2. The godlike performance needed for Liquid, needed from Camo and Purpo. Time ticks. Another found, and it's down to just Kayak. They've done it. Every shot landed for Team Liquid. And a defuse puts them 7-5 at the halftime. That round looked like a done deal, Tom.
I'm genuinely baffled by the fact that they've managed to turn that back around. I was fully convinced after the night that this was completely close. Nonetheless, I need myself a breather, so let's go down to Lou, who's standing by with a lovely interview.
You know these faces very, very well because yesterday they were fighting for
मुझे
their
आपको
lives.
गले लगा के appreciate करना है. Love you यार अदर भाई. Love you मेरी जान.
So and Beyaz, I heard that you have no more voice after the casting yesterday. So I'll spare you on this one. But my first question goes to you, Stark. So you know what happened yesterday. It was an amazing comebacks against Fnatic, which is a team with a lot of stamina, a lot of experience. Looking back at it,
भाई उसको sound आया था. वो घुमा भी था. फिर वापस क्यों घुमा?
Question, I think until sorry. I think
don't worry.
yeah, it's hard. I mean, I think until now I still don't know how he did it. Reverse sweeping like team like Fnatic. I think it's huge roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
We're really proud of that. I think you can hear in my voice. We still didn't get through it. 2 hours of sleep. So
did you manage to get some sleep?
yeah, 2 hours.
2 hours. 2 hours and then.
भाई अपने जैसा है.
Speaking about watch party mini, I wanted to ask you, how is it to be in the arena with no pressure, no anti-strat to prepare? The job is done basically to qualify for Master Santiago. So, do you enjoy, resting from the kickoff marathon, just watching the others play and fight for their lives?
उसको कैसे sound आएगा? Fade alt हुआ था क्या वो?
It's amazing. And I'm just
नहीं शायद.
happy to enjoy our watch party with Beyaz, talk to the gentlemen.
क्योंकि उसके PO से आया था आवाज आ रहा है करके. वो सिर्फ DK से बाहर आया वो.
Of course. Real quick, Team Liquid or Fnatic for these finals?
Fnatic.
Okay, what about you boys? Fnatic.
For me, Fnatic.
Fnatic. Okay, let's see if Fnatic can indeed take
बेयाज भाई क्या है बेयाज भाई?
Well, that seems pretty unanimous up there. We've got one for Fnatic and two for Fnatic. We'll see. Not much going for Team Liquid, so maybe that's because they're trailing by 2. But after that first map, I'm pretty afraid of what their attack side can do. They looked so dominant. The last round especially, man. Fighting back there.
जो भी था round कैसे आ रहे लोग?
Kill in VCT and then this happens to
round कैसे आ रहे?
No, it's madness, like what we've just witnessed, and that's what Liquid have kind of been doing throughout. They've pulled off these absurd rounds to get them back into the game. Now, you have yourself a pistol victory. You're level, you're going into that backside.
पिस्तौला जीत जाओ. मेरे को नहीं चाहिए एक और close map और throw वाला सीन. पिस्तौला जीत जाओ. Vibes high, guns high, ultis आएंगे पहले. Easy peasy.
Seem to have those calls that can turn things. Vekaj's already under pressure. He's running for the hills. He's seen the double dive enter the site and he's having none of it.
Understandable. Better to set up for the post, but Vekaj is going to be caught pincered on both sides. Nice play by Liquid. That aggression doesn't seem to be going anywhere. There's still 3 players moving towards the spawn. Nats is wrapping up behind, doing damage, being a thorn in the side.
Nats bolte.
Alpha is Camo on 10 HP. He takes quite a brave.
Nats bolte.
He's got the info. Last 2 players fully spotted. You can see Liquid ready for every engagement sent their way. Even if Miniboo goes down. Oh, I was going to say he's likely
Nats
to.
bolte.
Help from his friends. And Team Liquid find the pistol. That gap is closing in on Fnatic.
Yeah, this is always the most terrifying part when you face off against this Liquid side.
Yes, Team live चल रहा है क्या? अभी नहीं.
The perfect way to activate Nats. Like you have this super fast-paced aggro into the site, panic stations, everyone rotate, get into position. Nats is like, yep, chilling in spawn. Like he's always been that extra layer that's so hard to play against. But in this sort of setup, in this sort of meta, it's perfect to just have him in that backline, and that's something that you could even see. Fnatic were looking
like matches
for where Nats is, but that has always been an issue, especially on this map. Is there's knowing he'll be somewhere, and then there's.
कब से है chat masters?
Well, the easy follow-up as it often is. Fnatic on classics. And the question for Liquid is, can they hold on to all those weapons? They brought 4 in, 3 Bulldogs as well, so still standing a pretty good chance when it comes to the next round, even without the numbers advantage they're likely to have when grouped up. And hello, Miniboo got forced out by a nade, but forcing the fight didn't take it out of his favor. Boaster and Alpha, the last 2, and well, he got decisions here. Do you care about... That looked funky. Oh, goodness. Do you care about giving them orbs, or do you value finding some for yourself more? And it looks like...
I don't even know what that looks like.
What just happened there, bro? It's flawless. No mistakes made by Liquid, and even Nats is scratching his head a little bit.
Hey, he's getting some style points. He's getting
28, 5th से 28 से.
That second pistol once again. Putting Liquid back into favor, and This is where we need to see that response once more
Kape.
from Fnatic. They will come in with the rifles. They will come in with...
Don't करके दिखाओ बग्स भाई ना करो
But
यार.
their opponents also have rifles mostly. And I'll be honest, the SMG for Miniboo, not that much of a detriment with how fast he's moving.
Yeah, it didn't seem to hold him back last round, but now you're up against rifles. Harder to make it work. Already on the site, you've seen the dodge off the stun, but still, Miniboo finds one. Boaster on the trade at least, and now a 4v3, keeping control of the round. Vakash comes to help out, but Boaster's double may have sealed the deal. Good damage coming in from Nats, but
बाप रे. भाई बुल्लॉक के अलावा शायद वैंडल रहता तो शायद
Yeah, you always have to feel nervous when it's Nats on the other side, but not this time. Boaster was the one to take over.
Gold star baby.
Get in quick enough, because that's been their issue. Well, that's been a lot
अच्छा
of
कुछ
teams'
है
issue.
लेकिन
When
execute
you
अच्छा था
have this
भैया.
dive, when you have this fast-paced take, you normally don't have the support, so he just had to run in and take those firefights.
City rotation काटने के लिए कुछ नहीं है क्या वो लोगों के पास?
The SMG, it didn't seem to hamper Miniboo too much, but
मॉली वाली स्मोक को कुछ नहीं
got
था.
himself a phantom.
स्मोक डाला था लेकिन उसके साथ दूसरा लेयर कुछ.
Well, a minute 30, and it seems Liquid are going to be pretty quick with this one. Even with the ability to TP back, the whole squad is behind Camo, and he doesn't seem to be going anywhere. He wants to go forward. He wants to push through, and with the Sky Flash, they'll try. Puts two in the
Counter
ground.
oh.
For a moment, but Boaster pulls the advantage out of thin air. I don't think he wants to keep fighting here, though. A 3 versus 2, a judge on the retake for Vakash. If they don't push into him, that's going to be a tough one to make work. Should be some weapons to pick up behind him. And indeed, they will just wait to take this together. Only 2 left, but it's Wayne and Nats.
Uh-oh.
Facing the wrong way. Oh, it should have been free, but even still, he manages to catch crashes. And Wayne, in clutch scenarios, has been sublime, and he needs to get past this utility now. The judge should be deadly. Well, Boaster is there again.
तो जज चला रहा था long range.
Leading by example and extending Fnatic's lead by 2.
Yeah, I mean, having a great.
अभी इको है शायद.
You know, for Boaster, I think he might come
अभी
into
इको
this
है.
as like the lowest rated.
भाई थॉट अच्छा था बैक साइड रनिंग का. दो इसने मारा. इसके बाद ये वाला किल क्रूशियल हो गया थोड़ा सा. वो वाला किल क्रूशियल हो गया. और वक्त भाई नहीं हो रहा क्या?
Not only is Fnatic stacked with individual talent, but this man, he brings a lot to the
वल्नरेबल था इसलिए वल्नरेबल था करके वो जज लेके मार रहा था. प्लस वो मूव कर रहा था ना.
Now when he's firing as well, he could have some problems brewing. Team Liquid call a timeout at round 17, a 2-round deficit, but a little bit of momentum building up for Fnatic, and well, they want to put a stop to that before Fnatic start to believe again.
Wait, he's done well in the last couple
The
of rounds.
fuck executive 10 सेकंड में कर रहे हैं भाई. Executive कर रहे हैं वो लोग.
And you have the response, but
कुंदन
his
भाई.
goal was just get one, keep the advantage, and then we just trade effectively.
कैसे मालूम कैसे पता चला कि वो लोग executive कर रहे हैं?
And that could be enough to do this, because you start going for those riskier plays, you start going to be a hero versus this Liquid squad, and hey, maybe Wayne wins a 1v3 while he's on 5 health. Like, you just need to be careful with this Liquid squad. Because although in the early stages of this tournament, where, okay, some of the players were maybe not on the
Dude, मैंने क्या किया भाई?
Camo into position, top of the board, by the way.
मैंने क्या किया?
Even Nats like swapping into, okay, I'm just going to go back to my Viper. I'm going to go back to my
जो
Cypher
उसने
to
बोला
keep
वो मैं
things more
रिपीट किया
comfortable.
बस.
You do still now have even more so have to be careful when
मैं
these
क्या
players are
तू
feeling good,
आजकल
because they've been
रिस्पेक्ट नहीं
such
करता
great
हमारी.
form.
अरे उधर भाई love you
I've
यार.
seen Purpo as well on the Sky rather than the Fade. I feel like his initiator util has been shaky, whereas at least with Sky, although an initiator, he can at least play it as a duelist, as we've seen. He's flashing for himself, and
लेकिन क्लोन को.
maybe just give him a Yoru. But no, it's good to have that little, that you've seen the value of the dog, value of the info and the flashes as well, but often used individually. Here's Alpha in a lot of trouble, but he's dodged that hinder, and Camo's going to have a much tougher time taking him down, you would think. Nice response with Vakash keeping the numbers. Oh, they're even going to use an orbital strike. Hey, for a round like this, Liquid have got to be happy to already get a big ult out of the way.
Also, Wayne has got quite far. Like, the rest of the players are almost selling the idea that they're falling back off this, and he's just walked into lamps. Now,
किसकी तरफ हो बॉक्स भाई? मैं फनाटिक की तरफ हूँ.
It's a bad thing because he
मैं
has
भी
the spike.
फनाटिक भाई
So
जीत
if he
रही है.
doesn't get 2 kills here, they've dropped the spike. He got nothing. That was the low HP player. I thought for sure he'd at least come out with 1, but now this becomes impossible. Of course, it was lower weapons, so the expectations was it would be difficult anyway. Oh, for Kayak, it's just the clean-up crew.
कदक बोलते हैं ये राउंड आ रहा जीजी.
They lost their own
ये राउंड आ रहा
matches,
जीजी. Straight up. ये लोग को ये राउंड जीतना पड़ेगा.
It is indeed. Yeah, but I suppose as well, you look at Corrode and the surprise factor definitely comes into play.
Respect, super chat. अरे, यस भाई, love you यार.
You come into that matchup and
lot of respect to
you
you.
only get to prepare for what's
बड़ा वाला
coming your
करो
way
अभी.
for the remember Liquid didn't just sit back and
इको कब्रा excuse me. किसकी तरफ हो फनाटिक बेबी?
was in the loading screen, so it very much limits your ability to react.
ना करो यार कुछ भाई ना करो.
From the very second the barriers went up, Fnatic at the
वो अल्ट क्या था लेकिन?
they had rehearsed, but here on Bind, everything's going according to plan.
I think उसको लगा उसके पीछे और लोग हैं करके.
And a chance to basically make this BO5 and BO3 put us 1-1.
Kayak once again aggressive, but he might have dealt a headshot. He's received, or his teammate, I should say, has received one trying to swing from mid.
Time to jump.
Heal है नहीं उनके
Problem
पास.
is when Fnatic have had those disadvantages, a lot of the time we have seen those individuals try and turn the rounds back. I like the setup though. Playing contact with the cash, but he's not going to be able to stop Minibu. Just too quick on the slide to deal with.
Contact पे किल लेते हैं. सामने कौन है? Neon.
Disadvantage has doubled.
Oh, बाप रे. Read Pro Max.
This a very tough task. Nate sent early, break the Seekers, stop the Neon from pushing, but now we're in a bit of trouble. Oh, Alpha here. He was left reeling, spinning around that site. Not sure where the danger was coming from, and the trick was, it was from all over.
भाई Fnatic का read बहुत बाप था लेकिन.
2-round gap, solid response from Liquid, and 4 ultis coming into next.
Yeah, I love the fact that you're probably in that moment shouting like, there's 4 in showers, there's 4 in showers. It's like, but that means there's what? And that's the moment, that's when it first clicks in your brain that if there's 4 players one place, that means
well, Nats is natsing.
Claiming that additional space.
Booster by is winning.
Why is he pushing?
वो नहीं मालूम. That's a very good question.
For Liquid, but as you said, a lot to play with in this one. Showstopper, it's been baited out. They've gone the other way. Can he find something for it? Not quite. Minibu, the one person quick enough to escape. The overdrive has faded as well.
For
a trade on those ults, but I'll be honest, I think Liquid will take that.
Definitely, yeah, a huge danger taken out.
भाई लोग बक्सरी करके वापस टीपी मार के जाएंगे.
Showstopper can pick up a whole lot more, a whole lot faster. For Fnatic, waiting outside this site. All 5 players are here, and although they're sitting in the smokes containing the space, they haven't yet decided to strike until Alpha goes up top now. Here comes the invasion of the A site.
Hello?
Fnatic, they've already found 2. Both falling into the hands of Alpha.
भाई सचल का आवाज आया था. वो उधर नाट्स को देखो, उधर नाट्स को देखो. नाट्स को देखो उधर.
Nats put in so late. A danger lurking as they've spotted him. The Yoru's looking to push on through, but hold on, Boaster's gone down. Shorty for Nats grabs a double.
Low hai.
Still alive. The duelist of purple, as we know him, here on the sky, popping the flashes to buy them time. And
oh my God!
It's a Red Bull clutch. And
hello?
Have taking this in to punching distance.
Absolute cinemas.
Only Nats has the call to do that. I can't believe it.
Oh my God, that's bana kamo.
There's no way he can even
kamo bana purple.
But that was never the plan. The plan was to leave everybody low enough for his teammate to close out the round. Let's go, boys! These are the absurdities that only Liquid could achieve. And what was looking so good from Fnatic is again dealt a death blow by Nats.
Anyone else in that situation, the Yoru's just on you and you're getting spammed. Yet they're a little bit too far away. Nats doesn't know that. He took a risk. He rolled the dice.
Oh my God, वो अभी भी मार रहा है.
Pushing out Snake Eyes to the opposition. He's already found the opening. looking for a bit more, and well, that, never mind. I was going to say he might punish him. He was pushing down close, but it made no difference. No quarter given by Team Liquid, and in-zone flawless to put them neck and neck.
ये round जो जीता वो जीता.
To build up momentum,
सीधा.
the wind is ripped from their sails.
सीधा ये round जो जीता वो जीता. ये round जो जीता वो जीता.
Both teams pushed to the limit, but it's Fnatic that are already a map down.
Yeah, every time I think that okay, this is the moment.
भाई कुछ explosives करेंगे क्या लोग?
You just see some of that
shower crunch ऐसा कुछ?
Moments that
हाँ?
they've been doing this all week. They've been doing this all the way through their fight in that lower bracket. We mentioned
looks like
the
3-0.
conversation of last year where they fell into the lower bracket immediately and needed to win 5 games in a row to make it to Masters. This year, they fell twice. They were given an additional lower bracket, which almost seems unfair.
कभी-कभी बोस्टर को देख के लगता है कितना बच्चा है.
4 wins out of 5.
फिर ये बंदे का अचीवमेंट्स याद आ जाता है. फिर सोचता हूँ नहीं बचेगा तो कौन बचेगा?
Not going to the first Masters.
That is true. That is true. That is true. That is true. ये नहीं बचेगा तो कौन बचेगा? That is true.
To look like a squad that are going to do it again.
And without a doubt, the performances we're seeing here, the innovation as well. Just looking back to the previous map, one day and so much changed.
बाप रे पूरा scroll करना पड़ रहा है end तक इतने achievements हैं इसका.
And it is going to be Fnatic that have to fight their way back in terms of the context of this series.
2020 से ये IJ है 2020.
That is being pulled into question. I believe it's 3 in a row for Team Liquid. And after using up their final pause, the final pause of Bind, aggression towards B long. The
normal
is
peak
very good for
Liquid.
Liquid. They continue to get ground, but eyes drawn towards the B site means backs turned on A, and that's where Nats is filling in that space. He has gone so far back to prime. Nats with the space taken, and the Cash can watch the angle. All he wants.
Oh my God! Save क्या?
Speeding towards his temple. Team Liquid 4 versus 3 post plan.
बोलो ये लोग ट्राई करेंगे और हार गए तो लोग फेड अल्ट है वैसे लेकिन वेन मॉलियर अल्ट है.
Look how far back they're sitting. Like you can see all of the spams, or everything being used to try and delay them. Crashix has got it to half though. Honestly, not bad, but Nats has already taken another name. They're trying to heal him while he pushes. There goes the molly. And now he's in the corner, they spammed. Why would they check this? They do! Crashix clears it again. This is getting interesting, but can he tank the damage? He has to go all the way
time
through.
नहीं
It's
है.
gonna be close, but not close enough. A nice attempt, but now Crashies with little to no time. It will be the round for Liquid.
It almost close था बे. एक सेकंड लेट अल्ट मारते हैं उस पे प्रेशर आता तो शायद.
Close, but you could see it from the get-go.
भाई लेकिन राउंड गया पैसे गए. भाई था.
They just didn't have enough.
थोड़ा कुछ प्रेशर आता था ना.
In their own. The molly that was sent through followed the snake bite and then the orbital strike.
Look how close it is.
16 health, and frankly, I don't even call that a pixel away.
Do you think as well if he's full health? Is that enough? Because he was a little bit off.
I'm not sure what health he was on.
I think he was on like 89. I don't know how many
yeah,
shields.
I think he survives another tick.
Bind और Hero Vandal कुछ याद आ रहा है तुम लोग को?
The little bit of spam from Nats.
That's devastating. And the round that's in it, Tom, that puts Fnatic down to pistols. 11-10, the lead taken out of their hand with no chance to fight for it.
Oh my God!
Push up to 12 until they
वो slow कर रहा है और मिनिमम वहाँ से slide करके मार रहा है.
Fnatic left in the dust. One chance to fight for this. They need to push it to OT. And they're not winning this one, I'll tell you that. Nats is tied.
Oh my God.
With style, Liquid looking to send Fnatic home. 2 maps would basically be a death sentence. They need 3 in a row, and right now Liquid look like the better squad.
He just 360'd him. He's going for old school phase and optic clips. Like, what is this? Is he making a montage mid-game?
I don't know what's going on. What's going on? We just destroyed them, that's it.
That's the Nats factor. 24 and 13. You can spend a whole day prepping
मैंने
for what
बोला
this
था
man
कि नहीं?
has done in the past, what he's going to do. But dealing with him is a problem.
नहीं बोला
This
था.
round they've
रुक
got
जाओ
him.
ना.
They found him. There's more pieces to the puzzle. Boaster on the
रुक
corner.
जाओ
He's gonna
भाई.
dodge the ult. Gives him a way out of there, but he's under serious pressure. The spam not quite catching him, and this time the defense hold the line.
Oh yeah, even with the one for Camo, so much more need to be done. The play towards the spawn could cause problems. In fact, it does. Camo lands it. TP can be taken. 2 versus 3, and the A site wide open. Where do they go for the plant? I mean, they have control over spawn. It's the right call. Nice and open as well. Even towards bathroom, you have to be scared. This is going to steal information out of the hands of Fnatic. And with the deep position from Camo, he was playing here until a matter of seconds ago. They know that nobody's coming from the spawn. They know that they'll be wrapping around, and Camo's connected the dots for his triple. The numbers even, the time ticking, and Fnatic are the ones that need this and a follow-up. They've got to pick up the pace already.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Camo cleaning up, puts them 13 to 10.
2v5 में ace?
0 and 1 map away from Santiago.
बोला था कि नहीं भाई ये लिक्विड है वैसा वाला लिक्विड नहीं है ब्रो दिस इज औरा वाला लिक्विड ब्रो हाँ मतलब मिनी बू नट्स परपो हाँ ये नॉर्मल वाला नहीं है हेलो बंग में एक शॉट पे राजकुमार में आया
Women will what
yep vamos
Have a break.
और बाकी दो का नाम बोलो
Wingman World were wanting a
परपो
Vamos.
Nuts. Minibu. Come on. Huh?
Red Bull gives you wings.
Nuts. Minibu. हाँ? ब्रूस वेन बताने गया है अभी रात का टाइम है भाई काम करेंगे कि नहीं बैटमैन थोड़ा कोई तो बूस्ट कर दो बूस्टेड भाई को कौन ब्राई हेलो तेरे गांड में हाथी का लैंड बिना बूस्ट हो गया तुम कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो गांडी इसका अचीवमेंट देखो जितना तुम्हारा ट्विटर पोस्ट है उतना अचीवमेंट उसका गांडी
It's that you can't touch me. Things get ugly, they mad now. This all must be a whole new level to count. I'm packing on the pounds, pulled up with the dog hound, and I still had time to shut it down. Now you see them all screaming my name. See them trying to switch to my lane. They ain't never fit that frame. Only present when the cash came. Plenty days I've been on the road chasing. No legend ever said they was complacent. Nah. I told my mama I make it. I make a couple mistakes, but see I stay in my lane. I keep my feet on the pavement, and don't you ever mistake it. No, this ain't never been a game. I told my mama I make it. I made a couple mistakes, but see I stay in my lane. I keep my feet on the pavement, and don't you ever mistake it. No, this ain't never been a game.
little like there are no rivals. Doing the eyes closed, give me a blindfold. This shit is easy, like a recital. I'm taking my shot, like my hands on the rifle. It's now or never. Yeah. It's now or never. Now or never. It's now or never. Woo. Now or never. It's now or never.
No, you think Nafik I will chill against him? I can chill Nafik last time when I played on Fracture, not now.
Not Warfare, sit down. It's attack.
Nice, nice. How you guys lose that? What, how?
Bro, they actually cannot shoot when we are in their faces.
I cannot hear shit, bro.
Let's go, boys! Them up! Good job!
Come in, come in!
Team Liquid is fired up 2-0 against Fnatic in this lower bracket final. This was Bind. It was their map pick, but historically, Fnatic looks so good on this Billy, but Liquid just had their number.
Yeah, Liquid continued to be flawless on this map throughout Kickoff so far. They obviously knew coming into it that it was a strong map for them, so not to be worried. I really like in that reaction pack that Wayne is the only one that's kind of like chilling. Like it was quite a tame react pack, but Wayne is just like, I can't hear anything.
Well, that's not what he said. Verbatim.
For air purposes.
Take the fight. Take
couldn't
the
hear
fight.
anything.
Go on.
No, it's
No,
okay.
okay. I was impressed though. The thing for me coming into that, not necessarily an agent composition switch, but Liquid continuing with this, running it down.
Yes.
Purpo said that it was like, yes, as simple as this. We thought we were going to lose Corrode. We just wanted to come in, frag out. For me, this was just another example of getting in their faces, applying pressure to Fnatic, forcing them into making these scrambled mid-round decisions.
What was actually fascinating is Liquid started quite aggressive early on this map, Billy, and then Fnatic just had their number. They were able to get back into the lead. They were able to shut them down, but Liquid literally did not give up. They just kept going.
Yeah, I think it's really weird though, because if you're Fnatic, you kind of should recognize the composition that you're up against, right? When you look at Liquid's composition, the only real information gathering tool that they have in this composition is that Sky, which, shout out the Sky, honestly, I thought I was watching Jack Igo in the server there. But yeah, like, you recognize that that's what you're up against. You know, playing against this composition, that they are going to be looking to get aggressive on this defense. They are going to be looking to try and isolate those fights to be able to get that man advantage where they can, and you know, they were successful in being able to do that a lot of the rounds.
I think an argument to be made here is the trust now. Again, this being the perfect example here. Confirmation on the location of somebody, and it's Camo and Mini Brew really finding these roles, feeling happy now about the double duelist and how to actually play it most efficiently.
And speaking of confirmation of location, Nat's location was continuously a thorn in Fnatic's side. They're like, oh yeah, there's 4 people here.
ऋतिक भाई सॉरी सुपर चैट डिलीट करने को वापस बिना मैसेज के 100 कर सकते हो थैंक यू
Had this conversation so many times over the last 5 years, and Tom nailed it again. It's for a team now to go over and above in terms of
लोग की फीलिंग हैप्पी फॉर नाज उस बंदा हमेशा अकेला है चाहे उसकी टीम ना अकेले एक्सक्यूज मी टुडे दे आर लुकिंग स्ट्रांग द गोट्स ऑफ सेंटी नॉट से ऑलराइट
certain things they're not necessarily having to deal with. I guess usually against other opponents, particularly being Liquid. They're a team that likes to play slow. Nats is a very methodical IGL, but now with
3-0 का Liquid
running it down, you've got Nats just sitting
किसका मैप पिक है कुछ है आइडिया है कि ऐसी
we have always kind of highlighted Nats
कहाँ
on
से
Bind being
3-0
this kind
भाई
of playground. Nats on Bind, what could potentially go wrong? Well, it's Nats. He's going to be able to find
Fenrico बोल दो टाइम आ गया है
turn around rounds that almost look
कुछ और नहीं कर रहा बस बैक
winning rounds as well.
पैक कर लो
Yeah, he's just the king of Bind at this point.
यार तुम लोग Fnatic को इतना हेट दे रहे हो यार हाँ शर्म है कभी कोई लो फील करता है नेवर किक देम बाय द बॉल्स कमबैक आएगा ना सॉरी Fnatic सॉरी आई वाज नॉट फेमिलियर विद योर गेम ऐसा बोलोगे Another reverse sweep loading? Possible hai.
Truth King.
Speak about truth. They're not
Possible.
confident. I come back to the same thing yesterday. Their question and the decision making in game.
PLR.
Asking things like, are we panicking?
Far away from Master Santiago. W.
Second, third page of the playbook because right now
Production by क्या बोल रहे हैं?
So Billy, are we panicking?
मैंने booster सुना.
Luckily for Fnatic,
क्या बोला?
this has been a flawless map for them in Kickoff, so they
क्या
can
बोला?
at least feel good about that. Obviously, the last time that they played Team Liquid, I believe they played Team Liquid on this map, and did they? Ignore that. Hold that thought for a second. But that's what they can at least find confidence in, I think, here. Team Liquid have changed their composition around. They were obviously.
मैं तो जा रहा है सुने सुबह देखूंगा Fnatic का match.
Anything else now?
Win this.
They've been running it back into that double duelist.
सुबह को तो
I will come back to the point.
energy का match है MBR के सामने.
Really double down. Lohan's talked about finding their identity.
Chat,
how they want to
अगर
play the game. Double duelist.
अगर just saying अगर
why stray away from that?
Yeah,
Energy
I want to see them run in. I want to see
versus
them continue this as you know.
MIBR
The guy on the screen right now, Purple,
नहीं स्ट्रीम किया उसका मतलब सिंपल है कि नेट गया हुआ है नेट इश्यूज समझ रहे हो
Right now, Purpo is on fire.
And let's not forget, Fnatic now have to reverse sweep in order to make it to Master Santiago.
Oh, what can possibly go wrong?
They
Billy?
have not been able to do
मैं
that
गाली
since
दूंगा
stage 1 of 2024, I believe it was. So it's definitely an uphill battle for them. Considering that they got reverse swept yesterday as well, how is that
शर्म
going
नहीं
to
है
be
भाई.
affecting their mental, knowing?
This is where I play my Senti card. 1 second. Chat. तुम्हारे लिए मैंने 16-18 घंटे स्ट्रीम किया हर दिन पूरा किक ऑफ स्ट्रीम किया यार वैलेंटाइंस डे के दिन एक रोमांटिक डेट डिनर के जगह पे घर में वॉच पार्टी कर रहा था हाँ आज बीवी का तबीयत थोड़ा सा खराब है मेरा तबीयत आगे जाके खराब होने वाला है मैं फ्यूचर देख सकता हूँ और उसमें भी नेट जा रहा है तो तुम मुझे गाली दे रहे हो यार वेरी डिसअपॉइंटेड सेंटी कार्ड
The most lackluster this time around is Fnatic is a team we expect to be able to adapt quickly.
Yeah, for sure. And
एक आंख से चैट देख रहा हूँ.
You know, they were playing in a BO5 last night. Having to ask them to adapt quickly is almost difficult. And I think that's why in that previous map I struggled because I thought that they would adapt based off of the composition that they were playing.
I think this is tapping into something that
Chat stuck हो
Fnatic
गया.
have struggled for years to adapt quickly. Fresh metas, having a lot of prep time ahead of season start, ahead of it. I think that's something they've trended way behind where we've seen them historically, and now a series by series basis with Liquid making changes.
यार मच्छर कॉम स्ट्रांग ये बे
It's a total curveball to Fnatic.
But if you want to go to Santiago, if you want to go to the internationals, you need
100%
to
win.
be able to adapt.
Chat Fnatic 100% win है क्यों कर रहे हो मैम
The curveballs that they throw at you.
Yeah, for sure. I think as well, like coming into this, we had already set up. Liquid are a team that.
मैं मेंबरशिप कैंसिल कर लूंगा अपग्रेड करो ना मोटिवेट करो मेरे को स्ट्रीम करने का ये क्या है ये कैंसिल वाला धमकी मैं 500 गिफ्टेड करूंगा मैं $1000 वीपीएन डाल के करूंगा अपग्रेड करूंगा ये सब बोलो भाई
We'll head over to our casters for our third map of the series, Mitch and Tom.
कसम से एक्टिंग के बादशाह हो आप थैंक यू बेटी बाय
Maybe final indeed for Team Liquid. It's a surprise. A 2-0 from this point. I don't
अभी
think
लूज भी आएगा
expected
100% विन है
especially not with how
क्यों खेले लिक्विड मेरे को पता नहीं
for Fnatic to break the
कैसे बंक्स भाई लॉन्ग टाइम मैं वैसे ही हूँ एकदम तगड़ दिल्ला आप कैसे हो शिखर भाई थैंक यू फॉर द 16 months
them going for double duelists, the double dive. We've spoken about how they've swapped comps a lot, especially when they've taken an L. But the comp they ran when they played Heretics was a double dive. It just wasn't this one. Bringing in the Neon onto Abyss. It's not something I expected to see, I'll be honest. It's definitely not one of those language. And the old comp that they were running was way
The game ending ace by Kamo last match was his ace in VCT.
Now I can only assume that is the mini boot comp.
Tail versus players will be fun to watch. Both ISL are demons. W. हम लोग भी 18 घंटा आपका स्ट्रीम देखते हैं just saying. सच्ची?
Well, that's going to be the case for all of them. Team Liquid set themselves up for success and maybe even
Thanks give me एक बार exclamatory mark माल करना. Mods इसमें नजर रखना. कितना का डस्ट देखा
have given away the game, but that was all part of the plan. Drag the rotate to the A side, then catch them in the chaos. Really well done by Liquid. That late mid aggression has given them so much space. And Kayak is not only surrounded, but he's been caught inside a smoke. That's not going to help him. And his buddy's just giving him a bit of cover, I guess. And well, maybe it's worked out. Oh my God! Well, a 3v3 out of nowhere, and Kayak somehow still alive.
Yeah, he's just holding the line. He's buying time, and that's where Boaster strikes. It looked like the game plan was masterful. Now Nats might be walking into a bunker on the other side.
Nats gaya.
There's a man just waiting in the corner, and that's a freebie for Bekash, leaving only Purpo standing.
100%.
We've talked about that
100%.
ability.
अरे कुछ चैट नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है देख the low.
Bekash waiting, a flash ready if he needs
it. कैसे break by I got the 17 months, love you.
Isolated from the rest of the team, but they swing before the ping. No chance.
Swing before the ping. ये अच्छा ये डापेंगे.
That was the only way they won that, because the initial plan.
ये वाला डापेंगे. एक right में एक side में swing before the ping.
Nats backstabs. He was the aggro, and the rest of them backstabbed.
Yeah, it really remarkable work from Kayak.
Oh, he should have been 100% been dead.
There is no scenario in which he should get out of there. I genuinely think the smoke helped a lot, just to give him that extra split second to adjust.
गलत मारा भाई कजत ने.
And I actually thought he was going to just sit inside it, like hope maybe they don't check me. But no, he takes the fight perfectly. And Fnatic 1-0 up. A pistol under
कुछ नहीं दिख रहा है.
before. Liquid scary when the rifles come out, but this time they made an investment early. They went for the outlaw, an attempt to fight back. I love this buy, Tom. You've got pistols that just need to do 10 damage, but on the other side, a single shot's enough to kill, and Kayak already got 2.
Guns तो गिराना पड़ेगा इन्वेस्ट किया तो.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can buy one, but he can buy one with shields. That's kind of the difference maker. That's why he survived and Nats didn't. Still opportunities to make this costly, but it also means that their first proper
Bye Fnatic, no comeback, Binks bye. Language.
Have a piece missing, and if they don't do any damage for it, that's not really going to hold much value. There's no way they expect anybody to be here. I like the attempt from Purpo to clip off the
100% win rate बोलते, win rate बोलते.
Again to this map, but Liquid have not been shy of the comebacks in the early game.
Yeah, don't expect to see Alpha Air there too much.
मैंने live देखा था.
Incredibly often, but he only had a share.
Champs में chant के वजह से जीते थे. सिर्फ crowd के power के वजह से ऐसा comeback मारा था.
A 2-0 start is what they need.
Unbelievable वाला.
Together from here. Remember last map was 3-0 up, and then Team Liquid.
This is one of those games. अरे बंग भाई सब बढ़िया मुझे क्राउड का लैंग्वेज मुझे लगा एसएलएस होगा बहुत बढ़िया.
Careful. Don't want to give him that outlaw, but they really are putting the pressure on. Boaster's already gone walkabouts. Bekash sitting back, but it's put the pressure instead onto Crashies, who's done well, honestly. Didn't have much to play with. Takes a kill. Slows them down. And now the opponents are encroaching on that flank, but with Nats still alive, they do have to give the game away.
Yeah, that's always the problem. A little bit of extra information. Team Liquid know there's someone coming behind, so you might have to fight for some space, and the decision on where that's going to be, it hasn't been made just yet. In fact, they go back to the site, the double flank now coming through, and Fnatic can put pressure on from all sides and leave Heaven the riskier of the usual angles. And as they push on out, there was the chance. Nats tried to catch them off guard up there and realizes nobody's home. The push came in.
100% win rate बोलते.
Well, he's actually got a chance. He's won crazier rounds in the past. 1v1 first. Wayne has done it again. The Red Bull clutch to deny the 3-0 start and a very early interruption to the momentum Fnatic look to build.
I'm never going to get bored of watching this guy play.
How does he do it?
You stick him in the late round and he just never seems to miss a single bullet. Kayak, if that had landed, he would have been dead, but it's just ripping them a new one. So many clutch plays from a man who's not only an import from another region, but a youngster at that.
But man, this is boy soft hands. Excuse me.
And yeah,
thank you for the 200 minutes.
Fnatic, that's great. And that's definitely a wonderful start.
That's exactly what you want.
No lurk.
It's not exactly what you want though. In return, Mini Boo's taking the A site.
Sorry.
The plan can now, but Jesus, he's taking the spawn. He's going aggressive. He's running it down, and Camo's the one to pay the price somehow. Nade even gonna cause it a bit of a problem in terms of planting. They've got to go for that back site. Unless they continue to fight, they're gonna have no space left to hold on to. These players essentially isolated, and well, they will be destroyed. Each pillar.
भाई क्या बाप खेल रहे हैं Fnatic chat? Chat Fnatic क्या बाप खेल रहे हैं बे?
Look back at the last round and say, yeah, we lost a lot of players. It should have been our round, but they bounced back. That's all that matters.
I feel like Kayak's got that look in his eyes of I'm not losing.
भाई क्या हो गया भाई?
He's already been playing so far this game. I think he's 9-1. This
Heavy बाप खेल रहा है.
him just diving on Nats, taking him out of. I think he also has one of the more impactful kills getting back in as well. That one. And if he can continue up this level of form, it becomes a different beast. And you look back to some of their prior performances, and he maybe wasn't.
There
you go. We've seen from him. The Vekaj was incredible, so we'll see if we can get both of them for Fnatic. If
I'm calling it first. Reverse sweep. Reverse sweep होने वाला है.
Asking there though, do I stand up? Is that what we do? But he got up anyways. That's all that Hypok wanted to see. And for Fnatic at 3-1, maybe the comeback isn't too far out of the realms of possibility. Liquid grouped up, going to cause a big problem for Kayak. It's an outlaw down and pressure onto the A site. Players far back on A as well. There'll be no chance to really deny this plant unless they want to get crazy aggressive. But for Liquid, the choice remains. They know they've got main, thanks to that trap. But they're still wanting more space. A trap put up in heaven with a lot of presence there as well, and a great tag early on.
It gets ult if he gets a single kill. With the damage he's already doing, that might be enough to steal this round.
Love you too, मेरी जान कटे. Tension ना लो.
Another tag connected.
भाई दो लो है.
There's the ultimate available, and there it is popped. A teammate wrapping around, and again he's stripped away at Crash. He's leaving Nats to seal the deal. A catch onto Kayak was enough for Liquid to take another round.
Yeah, that's all they need.
Thank you so much for the 449 मेरी जान कटे. Tension नहीं है, कल और परसों ले लेंगे. कल नहीं हो पाएगा शायद, परसों लेना पड़ेगा.
Right away, but with the Jet, a little bit more difficult. It takes a little bit longer. And as a result, they found a huge play here. Their Team Liquid 3-2, back and forth in those early rounds, reminding Fnatic that this isn't going to be an easy climb back. And already you can see that defensive economy
हो सकता है. Fnatic अच्छा तो खेल रहा है.
Bladestorm used previously.
वहाँ पे थोड़ा off guard पकड़ा गया खजक भाई.
Here, even with a Steel Garden and maybe a Hunter's Fury for the next, it will probably give Team Liquid the lead.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit more worrying than just moments ago, and all it took was a singular outlaw falling into enemy hands. That was what gave, I think, at least 2 tags plus a kill. Oh, Miniboo. Again, you can see so far away from the rest of the team, just holding ground in case Fnatic attempt some level of aggression, but it's much slower.
Suppress के बाद जाएंगे क्या? Suppress के बाद एक बंदा rotate करेगा. अगर वो लोग पीछे रहते थे.
Liquid have been, but they're going searching around mid. Now,
Suppress के बाद वो लोग को एक ही बंदा मिलता था.
And now, Alpha are aware that this control is coming under scrutiny.
Here comes the dive, but Camo will be out of there, you'd imagine. In fact, he is, but it's Alpha connecting the shot. Steel Garden online and put through. It should delay. I'm at 33 seconds. That could be enough, but Alpha needs to be so careful. A cage on the other side protects Nats, or so he thought.
Oh my Mata Rani क्या मारा?
The only way they can deal with Alpha, but the flank from Wayne now makes this a competitive round.
भाई उसने स्पाइक गिराया देखा किसी ने?
TP available for Wayne, and they've made the read, but Fnatic won't get there in time. Spike stolen, plan secured.
Bro, Big Prince किसी ने देखा?
He's so far away. You can see though that Purpo's goal is just basically to watch if anybody comes in on that flank. The second they don't, this post plant in main becomes deadly.
Bro, किसी ने देखा?
Fury being available. The main detriment of it is if somebody comes from behind, but they already know that that isn't the case. The one thing he has to be very careful of, though, is it being denied, and there you go. Smart stuff from Becca. She waits for the first pop, manages to remove it. Crashy's just trying to block the player from swinging. They wait together, and Fnatic will hold the line.
Bro.
Becca even threw in a little bit of a curveball there, and it was
W alt.
Not the one you're thinking of.
Huh?
Throwing in that
W.
and then getting on the diffuse.
Cameraman ना मान रहा.
Is he on it, or did he throw that flash? What was
भाई दोनों टीम बाप खेला बे.
Little hesitation, but it wasn't even needed.
इसने क्या मारा लेकिन?
Up in the end, a great round from Alpha though. That triple that he finds, he had no right getting even the second.
This is why in Corrode they don't go to his site. This is what happens when you do. I think that as well from Becca. It's just the quick thinking, because you could see how far away Purple went. He's like, I need to be miles away for this not to hit me, and the no command still caught him, and now the whole plan is gone.
Yeah, and you knew going into that the null command had to be a part of it. Otherwise, the Hunter's Fury would secure the round.
Yep.
Used perfectly, kept for just the right moment. Huge tags. 2 players down and 1 left to have. Crashies. Oh my goodness.
100% win rate.
It might just have killed this round as the barriers went up for Team Liquid. And they're on the A site, but the spike is back in spawn.
Flank on flank.
And the delay, it's causing some gaps, some problems. But 10 HP Alpha still wins that fight.
10 HP.
Oh.
But a headshot is a headshot. That's all you need to remember. It doesn't matter how much health you have.
That क्या मारा बे?
It's a bit of a risky fight, but after getting the info for his team, they're happy to now.
It's time to go.
Both players locked in as the retake begins. Minibu needed to get something early if here, otherwise it's going to be very difficult to fight from this point. And a wonderful flash gives Crashies his 3rd of the round. He started it off beautifully with the Hunter's Fury. They will keep themselves not only
ये मैप है, ये मैप है.
5 alive.
ये मैप है. ये क्या है?
No, that's it.
Oh, that's beautiful. I wish I had time.
My God.
Oh, यहाँ पे बैठ के sketch किया है.
But it really does feel like the pendulum swung in the other direction now.
Fnatic के लिए डर लग रहा है.
Hands tightly gripped around those reins, and of all the times to have a big performance like that, again, that's 2.5 tags, 2.5 kills, sorry, coming out of the Hunter's Fury.
Live पे क्लिक कर. Fnatic lead में.
Is exactly what they were searching for. Team Liquid though are not happy to see this.
और अभी
happy to
equal.
see the smiles on the other side of the stage. They're taking a moment. The timeout. I wouldn't even say early on. Round 8. I think it's a good moment.
तेरे लिए एक टिप है YT ऑफ कर एट सोजा लॉस Fnatic अच्छा नहीं के लैंग्वेज. Fnatic जीत रहा है भाई यार.
Of both halves.
क्या हो गया तुम लोगों को?
I think off the back of your opponents getting an in-zone flawless at a round where
भी कर रहे हो लोग?
expectations to at least do a little bit of damage, that it's not the greatest of signs.
6000 लोग देख रहे हैं मेरे को.
Like the switch up in double dive is not working. The way it mannered before was that Minibu would be the one taking the space on that waylay, and then you had the secondary bout of Yoru coming through. That was what worked for them, and I think this time that surprise element of the
मानो या ना मानो.
has been okay. There's been moments where Minibu has got value. Camo's currently 0-7, so he's getting domed for it.
ना handsome ना यही सब तरह ना तुम लोग.
Isn't getting those backstabs. It becomes a much tougher
300
game
लोग चले गए बे.
to play. And that's when you add in a fact that Wayne did also win a ridiculous clutch round. This could genuinely be a 6-0 star or 6-7-0.
300 गए.
Oh, round 8. Barriers are up, and
Haters.
Team Liquid, although they got a bit of a pacey start towards mid, a bit of a sprint coming in from Minibu. The direction will be back towards this side.
जीता 50 gift कर दो. मैं ऐसे बोल रहा हूँ भाई.
Potential's not here. Bekaj needs to have a stronghold or get out of here. Before he's taken down. That hasn't quite landed in time, but the info's there. Nonetheless, I think you could deduce that.
By side तो मिल रहा है.
Few ults to play. What the hell? Crash, he's tagged to just 2 health. Nats is going to land the shot on a pixel angle. A spam from Bekaj. Has not only found him a kill, they've got to be careful though. Camo is going to try and hold them. This will come down to Kayak holding the line, he does. He stops them, being able to take
them.
And Bekaj hits a nice shot while stunned. In the meantime, Kayak has just been running it
through.
Almost but it does not matter.
भाई कजक भाई उड़ रहे सब जगह.
And what got dangerous for a second with an ult or two thrown in, it's still 3 players alive for Fnatic.
Jelly,
you see how important it is just for him to survive, so pivotal in getting back into that site, not just stopping them on Team Liquid from using that extra utility to claim those.
पहले ने अल्टी बाप मारा था, लेकिन कदक भारी पड़ा. एक्चुअल में बाप अल्ट मारा था.
You're feeling it. He's feeling it. 6-2 for Fnatic, and a defense that's shaping up to look much better than we've seen so far in this series.
और कम भाई.
Might be too early for it, but
how are you? Just asking.
Like I'm starting to believe. 12-3 at the moment. I mean, he is having a game.
Oh yeah, Fnatic have been one of the teams that have reversed sweeps against them before.
क्या मतलब उनका synergy अच्छे का shot मारा वे कम है.
But this time, they're attempting one of their own. You can't be a reverse.
I would personally, I would like to apologize.
In this one, Kayak has been pivotal in a lot of rounds, and Boaster's surprise factor is met with only further deficit. Alpha, has redeemed them a little bit, but even with Crash, he's aggressive. He's been caught by the cam. Forced to retreat, and while this round is looking bleak, even just escaping might be difficult under serious pressure. He's aware that he's going to get peeked eventually, but I think he even ducked on camera to try and get out of the way of that shot.
भाई मजे कर रहे हो लोग. दिखा के मारूंगा वाला.
He knows he's lucky to be alive, but that ain't lasted too long. Time to flee. This Team Liquid make 3. Yeah, for Fnatic, look. A lot of this just comes down to the mid-fights. You start out with Kayak going down, and I think that's where the first domino crumbles, and Liquid have their direction then clearly defined towards that A site. And I can't fault Kayak for taking it. He was 12-3. Having a hell of a start. You know, that's where you got to start. When you're having a game, playing towards your strengths, playing towards those early fights, looking to force those engagements, but this time he gets punished. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it from him again.
6,000 नहीं 60 लाख दिखना चाहिए आपको. Love you यार. थोड़ा हल्का सा ज़्यादा नहीं बोल दिया आपने. 15-20 0 एक्स्ट्रा नहीं लगा दिए थोड़े सा. हिंदी कमेंट्री ऑप्शन नहीं है, इसलिए देख रहा हूँ आपको. Fuck you. ये समझा नहीं रहेगा उसको, हिंदी कमेंट्री चाहिए. Fuck you.
Yo, hell, bro. I'm 1 HP, bro.
कैमरा नहीं निकल पा रहा है.
Well, got what he wanted in the end. Well, players leaning back, and you might be thinking, at this stage of the game.
इतना तो Valorant में total audience भी नहीं है. पूछा किसी ने? पूछा किसी ने?
The economy of Fnatic, is it Fnatic not wanting Liquid to equalize? Or is it Camo?
I mixed chat.
It is a technical.
Sliggy, how tired by बिचारा Sliggy by actual
at this stage.
Actual में बिचारा Sliggy.
But individual rounds scattered throughout a sea of cyan, and this is their chance to connect a second. The follow-up, gathering their breath, is perhaps a welcome reprieve.
Tech pause?
Yeah, I think for
Sachi tech pause है?
Liquid so far, as I said, they had that sort of clutch round. They had the bonus. That I think that was the same. That only just went their way. There it is. And then we had this round. And so we're kind of talking at a point where it does feel like Fnatic are fairly firmly in control. So I think for Liquid, building on this is going to be fairly important, especially when you consider in a lot of the maps of Abyss we've seen so far, that attack side has been stellar.
But tech pause celebrate करते लोग?
They've enjoyed running this sort of jet dive and
कौन सी दुनिया में हम लोग?
To sort of probe from behind. So
I was actually waiting, because it is often the Liquid fans, the let's go tech pause chat. We love to see it. Quick tip for those of you in the audience: if you are going to make a sign supporting the tech pause, cheering it on, probably don't do it in red. Our stage does go red, and it makes it a bit hard to read. But
what color should they do it in?
White.
I don't think that'll help with the signs that we're giving out. I don't know if that'll work too well, but we'll see. We'll see eventually. I think it was, yeah, it was a keyboard issue. It's something that I believe we saw Camo just playing around with, so hopefully that will be something that's done fairly quickly.
तक में सबके हाथ में वो डिवाइस क्या है, वो म्यूट करने का. अगर कोई कुछ ज्यादा बात कर रहा है ना, वो डिवाइस में बटन रहता है ऐसा, बटन दबाया म्यूट सामने वाला. समझ रहे, कोई टॉक्सिक बन रहा है, बटन दबाया instant.
Yeah, if it's not flashing, then
no, I mean, what's the point? Play? White LEDs on my keyboard. Come on. My movement.
Come on, Nick. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Well, Kayak was shut down in the previous round. Looking for that fight on middle. He was 12-3. He felt confident, and they came out and tapped his head off. This round, he's changed things up because he's in the same spot. But he's got an up in hand. And he's not looking to give away those opening fights. But a smoke off on the left side, they can close the distance, start to get towards this door, break it into vents, and pressure Boaster. Now they get real close to Kayak, and he needs to land the shot. Missing the first, but crashes. He comes in, the guardian angel, to keep them in a 5v4.
भाई कॉम्बो कितना tilting है बे, लेकिन भाई समझो तुम लोग स्लो गए हो और तुम लोग के पीछे नियॉन स्लाइड मारा है, तुम लोग का सेंसी स्लो है, तुम लोग को क्या घुमाना पड़ेगा माउस पे.
Within reach, but none of those opening fights have gone the way of Liquid. As said, it's just been blips, it's been individual rounds that they found, and unless they can turn this one, it could be more of the same now. I'm liking the position that's currently being held by Boaster. He's so passive, just waiting for anybody to try and cross him from behind. It does leave Althea on a little bit of an island, though, and that's the problem. If he gets taken out, there's much more of a chance.
Look how patient they're being on the rotate. Fnatic know how much control they gave up. But as all this is cleared, they might start to think it's open. Camo free beyond the crashies, but now the whole squad surrounds him. And the op is the first to strike. The steel garden, although shallow, is making it so much easier to cover that ground and make it towards the site. Much needed with time low, but when Nats the only one standing, an almost impossible clutch presents itself. But Nats making the impossible look possible, but still one left to deal with.
Oh my God, Nats, bro, what the fuck?
Nats leading.
Oh my God. Gentlemen, क्या कर रहे हो?
It just shouldn't be their round. It just shouldn't.
Hello?
It's like they've gone from having
by 1v4
smokes agents who can clutch like crazy, and they added in a second one just for to double it down. And it's just absurd. You go swinging in, and every single time he seems to land the shot that just deals the death-dealing blow.
बनता है, बनता है.
What could have just been one
एक और स्पीच हो जाए.
Back on the ball, but once again it's an opener for Fnatic. They are not wanting to let this slip, but just look at the swing coming out. They don't know Nats is there. Even still, it's only one this time.
इधर जाके मार रहा है Nats.
Again, crashes is to be commanded.
Crossfire के बीच में एक को जाके मार के आ रहा है पागल.
Ahead of the kill for Team Liquid. It might look odd with the spike and spawn. They do have a TP and ult on Wayne.
भाई क्या बंदा है बे, लेकिन
Steal it back. But they've also got a speedster in the form of Mini Boo. Nonetheless, the issue here is not the spike. The issue is this setup. We've seen from Alpha many times before. This is devastating to deal with. He's not only going to have a lot of control over that right side, the wall, keeping it safe, the thorns that will be put up, but now a flash, you can see it on the left, but they can't. And once this pops, big problems brew. But look who's tucked in the corner. Wayne couldn't come out to help because of those thorns. Alphayer, oh, he's drawing blood on backside. Purpo trains it back with 3 more to find, though. This round looks done.
Yeah, they know exactly where he is as well. The dart reveals his position, and Fnatic players not wanting to give anything over. It might at least give him.
क्या 7-5 अच्छा है कि नहीं लिक्विड के लिए? नहीं.
It would let them know exactly where he sits.
Fnatic का मैप है, वो लोग मारेंगे
a
अटैक
piece of
में.
utility that denies him planting exactly where he wants. No. He's going to get stunned up though. No escape, and as free as a kill could be.
Clean. Stun करके मारा बे.
For Fnatic, they've at least got the lead at the half, and most is having fun at least.
Yep, practicing his aim, of course, very important. And I'll tell you what, as we go to
chat, please बोलो तुम लोग को ये वाला chat दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है. Alpha Jher plays like me वाला. Huh? 1 second. After pause. It is. Yep. Yep. अल्फा जहर अल्फा जहर एक सेकंड अल्फा जहर गेम प्ले रेडी है मेरे दूसरे स्क्रीन पे ये राउंड के बाद अपन अल्फा जहर देखेंगे
All it's really given is the
ready रहना
Backash is just sat back there playing for the retake and that open up for free is exactly what they were looking for. Crashy's not even giving
ऊपर नहीं जा सकता था सिटी से एंगल था
Backash found another. They're desperately trying to find ground on the Liquid side, find someone to fight, and Backash is that zone! And in a blink of an eye it turns, leaving it to Boaster. Can he get himself his teammate back? He should be able to. No, he's baiting. He's trying to get him. That did not work. Again, Liquid win the possible round. And again.
आ जाओ अल्फा जहर टाइम अल्फा जहर टाइम मे बी एक सेकेंड इंग्लिश नहीं आता है मे बी आई जस्ट टेक क्वाइट हाँ रेडी हो
Yeah, bro.
मैडम
from the G2 boys and Akita on the personal side. Of course, it's a pleasure to have you here with me in Berlin because we used to be teammates in Zerance and you were playing solo duelist back then with a lot of burden on your shoulders.
What is up? What is up? What is up?
On the Euro duty sometimes. So I want to have your thoughts, on this double duelist meta. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I actually like the double duelist meta because like
Very
I'm the
school
first
friend.
duelist, so Mimi can fill the gap. If I wanna pick somewhere, she can go somewhere else, and like she can also play up, so I don't always need to do the hard job.
Yeah, you have a bit more freedom.
Plus
I have more freedom, but in attack it's a bit harder for me, but it's fine.
सच्ची attack बहुत hard रहता है
teamwork and synchronization for sure with two duelists now. Mimi, I'm turning to you. You played so many grand finals in your career, right? You know these high-stake matches. So what makes a difference, especially as an IGL, in those tough moments?
I think the most important thing is the confidence and the prep going into a grand final. If you're confident in your players and your prep and everything that you've done to psych yourself up, that is what really is going to make the difference in the game.
So preparation and confidence. Let's see between Fnatic
मजाक से हटकर मैं कभी बोला नहीं है लेकिन 101% राइट बात किया.
Next week and let's see who takes the win between Team Liquid and Fnatic.
Yes, let's see who is going to take that.
See ya.
Nats leading the squad to a 2-0 advantage in terms of maps so far. It's looking like.
क्या बोले?
Just looking at the way those stats have risen.
Last month emoji देखा था.
I feel like they would have gone higher maybe if some of those games.
कुछ बोला क्या?
Kept going up. He hasn't really needed it in some of the cases here in the first couple of maps, especially on Bind. I think it might be going off the chart. We might need to add a new layer after this. And in the round for Liquid, making things
that's the answer. हाँ वो है.
That's what's been bringing them home.
Actually,
like, realistically, if you're going off the early advantages, Fnatic could have won this 12-0. But those clutch plays,
unfortunately,
those individual moments have made this one
unfortunately, problem ये है ना.
We're waiting to
He's
see
married.
if a fourth map will even be needed. Or if Liquid
and you are simping on a married man.
Side.
Well, their defense has been, for me, the most exciting to see. Like their aggression on
Just
the
saying.
last two maps has been so consistent.
Just saying.
Now, a lot of that
Gen
was,
Z.
you look at how they're trying to get out of those smokes.
If you know anyone like Nats, please introduce कर दो.
So many aggressive plays in the early stages of the rounds. Now for Liquid this time, it's not going to be as easy to force those
रेगा जी का brain cells में थोड़ा नाट से.
Put that playbook aside, and as the round ticks on, 50 seconds on the clock. Look who's pushing up. Thank you, Zilf. Camo all the way up on B. That's allowing a full
बताओ तो हाय
rotation
हेलो
to the
करा
A side.
सकता बस.
And this is what I'm worried about. Fnatic have had issues with their plays being very telegraphed.
Oh, already. Verkash removed with a shot.
Pro player हो क्या आजकल पोकेमॉन खेल रहे हैं.
Spams are going to get him a second. He's been having his moments throughout this game, caught by his teammates blind. But if this is a rotation back, they're going to run straight into Camo. He's even going to slow
Bro,
them.
बोल
There's
मत
nowhere to
comeback
go.
होने वाला है भाई. Liquid का हेलो.
It's ticking too far. They need to either sprint it back in towards the A site and hope they can kill everybody.
यार 3-0 हो सकता है. Are you guys बच्चा करेंगे me?
He needs to wipe out everybody and not this time. Liquid climbed to
3-0 हो सकता है. हेलो.
Yeah, a very valuable pistol round for Liquid. The right foot forward in this half, and Fnatic, again, every round that Liquid take from this point, that's nasty. From this point forward, it's in the back of your mind.
Back for more.
Bunks bhai, you may not recall me, but I am nuts. And it's yes from my side, Suzy. अरे दगड़ दल्ले 150 रुपए का membership नहीं है तेरे पास. If you didn't recall me, I am nuts. Back.
And even before kickoff, when we kicked off partnership, it was a grand final against Team Liquid after beating them
6-7. ना करो रे बाबा.
The very, very first grand final we had back in the Coliseum.
Look at this push-up. Like, this is against an eco. They are going all the way round behind them in
Boy,
mid. This is a lineup of players. I don't even think they realize how
Gaff
many
attack.
Well,
Slow motion gaff attack. भाई क्या है बयानी में fight कर रहे हैं लोग.
Miniboo has found the kill. Kayak will retreat.
दूसरी बार देखा है अपन ने. Slow motion में दोनों लड़ वो मेरा brain cells खत्म है.
Locked in on defender spawn.
Yeah, this looks ridiculous.
But say.
But it also looks exactly as I'd expect, considering
Knife होने वाला है.
He's behind
Knife होने वाला है.
He's always perfect. No, you stole the double knife. That could have been history in the making. It is, however, an in-zone flawless.
Yeah, and that's behind you. What a surprise.
ये देखो.
Yes, you did.
गन बड़ी चाहिए. मतलब इतना भारी मैच चल रहा है.
Gun buddies. I forgot to thank you for mine the other week, Jack, but appreciate that on 4 alt accounts as well. Oh no.
जला रहे लोग. मेरे पास
7-7.
मेरे पास 2K का है. मैं नार्ड बन सकता हूँ क्या? नहीं, तू DK के भाई है.
But I think Liquid might be happy with it anyways.
Yeah,
I don't think Nats is that salty. Timeline shows.
Nats dollar वाला है भाई, तू DK का है.
When it comes to late rounds,
Come on.
Liquid have always been solid on this map. It's where they put up those numbers. And now, as we come towards round 15, for Fnatic, this is a must win.
Side Kali, right Kali.
Achievement that has to find its way into their pocket, or this map is under threat, and that's a very, very solid opening kill. The flank.
Bro, Minimbu घुस गया. कुछ दिखाई नहीं दे रहा मेरे को, लेकिन उसको भी नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है.
Look easy. Fnatic, like a hot knife through butter, they have completely diced the Liquid up in this.
भाई ये जो बोलते हैं hot knife through butter, कोई यूज किया है क्या बटर में hot knife?
Question of damage, I suppose.
हम लोग तो ऐसे ही रगड़ते हैं.
Much of an answer in favor of Liquid. 8-7. They did that relatively comfortably.
Yeah, that was a nice response. I think that's the one.
अबे मैं यूएस का वीजा लगा के वापस आऊंगा. BRB. That's it.
A lot of the time, you're either going to end up in a firefight
or
you're going to end up in an empty site. And both of those are absolutely fine.
इतना richness चाहिए.
From Fnatic's standpoint, it
कि
was
भूख लगे तो खाना गरम करने के जगह पे चाकू गरम करे. बटर को मेल्ट कर देगा. इतना लाइफ में सक्सेस चाहिए ब्रो. मजा स्टार्ट कर.
This is where Liquid get the full buy back up. They didn't get much damage done in the previous though, so good signs early on for that Fnatic attack. Great flashes bought them the first angle, but look at the rotates. Liquid.
शक मत करो खुद पे, घुसो कजक भाई. शक मत करो, घुस. शक किया उसने.
Laneways proving to be firmly under the control of Liquid. Another going in their hands with Miniboo, and now Wayne suspicious as this smoke is going to fade soon. He's holding it, waiting, biding his time.
भाई ये तो close है.
Crashies gets away. He's taking quite a fall afterwards.
It was a choice of dying to an opponent or dying to the ground. So, if
तुझे आपका एक शॉट्स का दिखा दिया, बंदा तो गिर गया मैप से.
I'm not sure it was necessarily intentional.
There's a really good trade of
lol
from the grave of himself. Well handled. He set that all up.
बिंक्स में 4 महीने हो गए आपको देख के चश्मा लग गया। आपका चेहरा इतना हैंडसम है कि चमक रहा है। बाय द वे सुशी जी, मैं एकदम चुमटा इंसान हूँ। राहुल भाई खुद को काहे गाली दे रहे हो? कम ऑन डूड, मेरा स्ट्रीम है ब्रो। हेवी डबल किल मारा बे, हेवी डबल किल मारा। ये राउंड अगर हारते ना लिक्विड मैच पॉइंट, मैप पॉइंट। No one said that? है जी?
EMEA last year in his rookie
उसने
year.
बोला, उसने WhatsApp किया था मेरे को।
And you have just witnessed why. I like this. Just a pause from Fnatic.
मैं चैट भी है ना, उसके हिसाब से पढ़ रहा पता है। उसके एक्शन में।
Within the first
No one said that? मैं वैसा पढ़ा मन में, सच्ची।
Just bypassing his position, they've
aura
sent
hai
out the wounded.
Sushi ji, aura hai.
Purpo's actually done all right there though. He's taken 0 damage, got out. Wayne is being watched for though. And now they know where everybody is. They've seen both players. No need to refight any spot that they've already seen.
Wayne's going to be on B.
6-7 कहाँ से आ गया? लाइव तकलीफ करो, 8 है।
Worst part is Crashies goes to backside here. Wayne knife out though. Should be dead. 2 rights and it will be Crashies to deal the death blow.
One tap बोलते।
For now, I think Purpo has an impossible decision to make.
Save. Possible decision, impossible क्या? Return जाओ, चलो। Delay में मेरा बात सुनो।
Going to be hunting them down, and they might even have heard those steps. I think Crashies might have.
नहीं कर सकते, इतना guns नहीं है भाई।
Fury after that previous pick, you know that he's going to hunt you.
राहुल भाई मैंने साथा, membership upgrade करो। Love you, Dicky bye.
The thing is, Purpo's also not far away. The thing is, you look at Miniboo 1 away from ult. That will help him out at least in the next round.
What 6-7? पढ़ाई नहीं करेगा तो जो मार्क्स मिलेगा ना वो 20 में से 6 या 7 मिलेंगे।
Maybe expecting there to be a second layer to this. Well, there it was. He's full blind, completely blind. Still wins the pick. Eventually, okay, he loses his gun, but he gains his ult.
गिरता तो लग गए थे।
It's not the worst case scenario for him in that moment. For Fnatic though, that is the lead back in their hands. The back and forth in this second half continues.
बिंग जी का मतलब क्या है? मैं वो सोच रहा हूँ गोट भाई हेलो।
Keep in mind how heartbreaking it could be for Fnatic losing out here. They were 1 round away.
आंधड़ा होके मारा बे।
Yesterday, having to turn around this quickly, play that BO5 against
6-9 बोलते।
rivals really is an understatement. I mean, these guys have been trading.
कमो भाई क्यों लो फील कर रहे हैं? इतना तो मारता कमो।
And in partnership, it was Liquid to draw that first blood, an important grand final.
ऐसा भी नहीं क्यों घुस के मर जाता वेले हो।
Well, back to the Coliseum. And for Fnatic, ever since then, that final didn't go their way, and even getting to finals has been a tough situation when it comes to kickoff. They usually blow out the first few games.
Oh yeah, this is the one place. It has been tough.
भाई प्लीज लेट मत खेलना। अगर वो लोगों को मालूम पड़ गया ए हो रहा है, ट्रिप है, अल्ट है, सब है।
Looking shaky, getting better as the tournament goes on, and that's going to have to be the story of this series as well. A map victory here takes us to Breeze, and that's one where again I feel like Liquid have set themselves up for success. One of their best maps versus one that Fnatic have struggled on, but
लॉन्ग लीड हो रहा है।
Best of 5. Anything is possible. Now you look at this defense. 4 players
right here.
currently within
3.5.
The trips on the other side meant they would be online unless a kill was found, but this is dangerous. This is worrying for Fnatic. They are walking into the trap. The time ticking down. Miniboo now with ult online.
Oh, here we go.
A Judge still in the corner. It's all the shot darts down to 1. Just 1 health. It's enough for Wade to take out Crashies, and somehow they will win with every player standing. Fnatic have done in their league, but they have tripped and fallen once again.
When you see that damage pop up after the round,
that side is brutal.
Someone's mouse might be broken.
लग गए चाहे 3-0 हो सकता है। वो लोगों को पैसा नहीं कोई अभी।
So frustrating. Shock dart to 1 HP. Both of them sent in as well.
MVP Miniboo है लेकिन क्या टाइम पे उसने स्टन मारा है ब्रो। गाली दिया, गाली दिया, गाली दिया.
9-9.
We cut the middle. Good work.
The scoreline equalized.
एक सेकेंड, कजक जिता सकता है. अल्ट है कजक के पास. कुछ भी करके अगर प्लांट मिल गया ना तो जिता सकते हैं चैट. लेट राउंड अल्फा जेर अल्ट मार देगा और बाद में 100 अल्ट है. बोस्टर कहाँ पे गए भाई?
Now there's danger brewing. It's Nats who will face this. Oh, what a shot by Kayak! But he can't get the second. The stun from Miniboo makes it too hard, and that flash was sublime.
क्या मारते बे लोग? कभी-कभी सच्चे कुछ प्लेयर को देख के ना
It's how much they want to gamble, especially with
सच्ची में समझ रहे ना तुम लोग. आगे का समझ गए ना. कुछ और देख के ना तुम लोग समझे कि नहीं? हाँ? 3 महीने पहले का मेरा गेम प्ले.
3 rounds away from Masters Santiago and sending out one of
स्कोर क्या है चैट? बहिरा है जो नहीं दिख रहा.
historic foes that
स्कोर क्या है चैट?
pretty poor record against overall, but this squad are not going to give a damn. Especially when you look at the likes of Purpo and Wayne, the opportunity
जीजिए हो गए नहीं. ये राउंड आ रहा तो जीजिए. अभी भी पॉसिबल तो है.
Especially for Purpo. You talk about Wayne as a youngster who's coming up to the league for the first time. Purpo's been around the block for a long, long time. This has been a journey. Those 3 rounds are going to feel like an eternity.
I'm pretty sure since day 1. I mean, I remember.
मैप स्कोर पूछ रहा है वो. अच्छा ऐसा बोल देगा ना. 2-1.
Very, very early days. Back in the invite-only era.
Well, this is the thing. He was subbed in for Mech in the last map of an LCQ that would have taken him to an
तमीज से Binks, आपसे नहीं पूछा.
It was the only map he played in that tournament. We've then seen him
so brutal.
Yeah,
2-0 नहीं 2-1. Fnatic जीतने वाला ये वाला.
And now you look, he's
मुझे तेरा गेम प्ले देख के सेम सेम हो. मुझे तेरा गेम प्ले देख के सेम होता है.
That's already a great start. We've seen a lot from the Gentlemates guys today. The emotions.
मैं जाता हूँ यूएस का वीजा लगा के आता हूँ.
Making it to those global events. Fnatic are no
पूरा माइनस कर दिया डीके के भाई.
And what, I wouldn't be the fool to count them out just yet. The pause has given them some time to talk.
इसलिए बोलता हूँ सुपर चैट ज्यादा करो लेकिन बराबर करो ना.
This has been a half of a
ताकि समझे ऑडियंस को.
Very good at, but Liquid every time seem to be finding answers, finding impossible rounds.
You call a pause and Liquid come in with immediate aggression. A main sees paranoia and the relay bolt thrown through. Neon sliding in and sliding right back.
ये राउंड क्रूशियल है. ये राउंड अगर फैनेटिक हारा
after tucking up in the standard chamber spot, now he's gone creeping. Nats is taking so
Alpha J ready hai.
We've seen that patience before as he sits and
Jenel,
waits.
Thank you for the 17 more. Love you.
Finally rewarded for it.
That leaves a lot of space open for Fnatic to play with. The B site has a singular defense.
अच्छा साइड पे जा रहे.
To play with the judge.
बाकी लोग करेंगे सेव 10-10.
Smokes to help him. Maybe
और वो अल्टी देख. और वो लोग ने सीधा सेव किया और वो लोग ने ट्राई भी नहीं किया ना. ये लोग अभी भी बहुत सारे अल्ट है.
Without utility to play with.
बोस्टर का भी आ जाएगा.
Without any help whatsoever, he's trying to use the opposing smoke against them, try and hide within it, and there's a spike on the ground. He's done well so far, but immediately spammed down. The rest of the team are only just getting into position. Miniboo looking to try and run through the smoke, but there is a man on the other side just waiting, and the hold.
कुछ तो crazy सा blind हुआ है वो.
Evidently, that smoke coming in a little
कौन जीजी बोल रहा था?
Isolated. I can't blame Wayne. Of course, he was over in A main. And it takes quite a while to rotate over into a spot where you can get that up. Just a second.
सुशी जी better खेलती है आपसे.
And a 10-10.
Nice try.
It starts with Alpha just having that patience.
Nice try.
For the play down mid. After early A aggression being denied, Fnatic knew that there was likely to be more coming their way. Liquid's defensive aggression becoming predictable, I think, a long time ago, but now being punished.
The problem is, Fnatic have been
सुपर सेट वाले की कभी इज्जत नहीं. ऐसा नहीं है. कभी देखो $100 करके छुपा देते हैं हम लोग डायरेक्ट. और पूरी आर्मी मिलके.
Hunter's Fury available on this walkabout. Again, the drone being sent through to maybe try and deal with Alpha yet, but he is sitting so much further back. Shotgun clearing some of the utility, but that's all a ruse. And in the meantime, that B site is once again fairly open. Fnatic might be about to try the repeat.
But those players are herd stepping. There's another drop towards the B side.
Yep,
some info, but we don't see the rotate just yet. It will be Wayne who has to do it all, essentially. The smoke comes in too late to properly delay them, and the flash completely blinds Wayne. He's dead to right, and B has fallen. The battle lost. With Camo down, the resurgence of Fnatic is undeniable. Should be no surprise to see Nats here with that wall just fading moments ago.
Next comes the bridge.
And even then, Alfier's cleaned up the site.
Bro, almost मार दिया था मिनीबू ने. भाई वो लोग का अल्टी तो अभी भी है बे. वो लोग का अल्टी तो अभी भी है.
It seems whatever was said in that pause is working. Like holding for that early aggression down mid, constantly adapting the setup so that when Liquid get aggressive, they're not just dealing with the same player. There's different layers to it, but also I think just the pressure on
layers ne Zahir, Alpha Zahir.
A lot on that A site, having multiple players there, and then leaving Wayne, who, I'll be honest, so far has been incredible, but this time was dealt with. The round before it was Camo who was dealt with. And once they get into those positions, that's where it becomes so much tougher for Liquid. They'll take a pause of witnessed it yesterday. No matter how close map 3 is when you're 2-0 up. If you lose, you lose. And then the momentum starts to switch. Then the doubts start to sink into the back of your mind.
टेंशन आ रहा है लोग अभी क्योंकि सामने Fnatic है. रिवर्स स्वीप रोज करते वो लोग रोज. थोड़ा रेड बुल देख के मन हो गया. लास्ट वॉच पट गया. क्या बोलते हो? नहीं भाई इसके बाद नेट जाने वाला है लेकिन.
Well, Fnatic would still be favourites, right? They would still be the team. They almost won it yesterday. When you're 2-0 up, that's amazing. When you let one map slip, that's the door open.
All the timeout.
Physics के लिए जिम. क्यों तूने मेरा और जोकर भाई का physics नहीं देखा?
Once again for Team Liquid an attempt to patch things up. 20 different TL players.
होता है बे तुम लोग को कभी-कभी मैं सोचता हूँ.
But I think that also highlights how Team Liquid are a squad that have always been in the pursuit of perfection.
Dad, no plan B. सीधा execute.
They don't get it. They're willing to make the changes they need to.
Straight up execute.
Make sure they do next time.
The buy in this round for Liquid, not the best. I think that was something that was almost definitely discussed. Do we want to risk it in this round and maybe have two perfect buys, or do we want to go with the low buy and maybe have to fight for OT? They gambled on B. It's understandable. The last couple of rounds have been late B hits, so they stack it early. This time Fnatic swap and directly hit A. They get themselves a space, and now they get the post as well.
Now you've got convergence path, but considering no.
भाई एक अल्टी यूज कर लो just in case. Just in case. बहुत सारा अल्टे एक यूज करके तुम लोग commit कर लो.
Take the space, ends up losing his life. A trade at least, but Liquid a man down. Smoke now blooms. Spam's not good. They get close to the spike, but everybody's falling, and they can't get back.
मरने के बाद अल्ट मारा है.
For Fnatic, they left it close. Started to
आइडिया अच्छा था.
We were going to see them show up here today.
आइडिया अच्छा था.
2 chances to at least lock in a map.
Yeah, we expected choices to be clean.
Finally, भाई मैं बोल रहा हूँ भाई ये लोग के मैचेस में ना ऑडियंस गोटेड रहता है. ऐसा एनर्जी मिलता है ना ये लोग को. ऐसा एनर्जी मिलता है ना.
After this pulse, it's crazy. Come on.
It's crazy.
Oh wow. This is the round that Liquid was saving for. The last was a mix by pieces missing. Those ultimates were kept. Knew they were fighting for OT, unless they pulled off miracles, as they have done.
एक ट्रिप गया.
But they do have to be wary. Fnatic have been quite happy to go direct into these sites, and after a few rounds of B, it's seeming like they might repeat the A side.
They should have seen the shock went high, but that trip
is
still towards the right side. Getting anything from it will be difficult.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं करने का है.
Close by, the drone is keeping him back.
Normal जाओ.
That trip completely avoid.
Normal plan.
Say that as one gets caught, but no punishment. In goes the convergence path, though. This is Liquid's final stand. They'll put everything into it, throw it all at the wall, and see what sticks. Crashies stuck on site. Alpha by his side, but the drops.
कितना close था.
12 to 11 on the board. one more round in regulation.
अरे यार ये लोग का आइडिया अच्छा था लेकिन वो थोड़ा सेफ था बे. ब्रिज वाला प्लांट करके पीछे साइड ब्लाइंड हेवन सोवा अल्ट और टाइमिंग वाला पुश.
Narrow margins to say the least. It definitely helped out getting that convergence path, the reveal, also giving up everybody at the end.
He's scared of my sabla. Oh no 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 no.
Huh?
But they had to dump everything.
He's scared of my kya?
No ultimates to play within this next round. Okay, Fnatic used a couple of their own, but they definitely have more to play with going into the final round of regulation. And hey, they had a success on A, they had a failure on A.
Yeah, he's scared of me.
Continue in that direction once again.
The shock from Purpo didn't land.
चलो मैं चला. कल स्ट्रीम होगा तो मिलते हैं. दल्ला लैंग्वेज. थैंक यू फॉर द 169 DK के भाई. लव यू मेरे जान करोड़े. लव यू. Language chat language.
There's TP coming in as well from Wayne. This is Liquid.
Mara.
Playing outside for the retake, but the spam's already dropped them. Hold on. Liquid are fighting back. Mini Boo's got 3.
My God.
Nowhere. The Hunter's Fury is all that stands for Fnatic. Crashies.
भाई साफ कर दिया ये लोग ने.
Like we've never seen before. And with Wayne tucked in with a judge and a firing squad on the other side. Overtime on the horizon, and a new dawn with Mini Boo on 4.
Oh
Liquid
my God!
The 3-0 dream is still alive.
It wouldn't be a series between these two if we didn't have an overtime. But I have to say, I did not think we were getting there. I want to watch this from Mini Boo's point of view. Wow. Just fully taking over that retake. He got there early. He quickly maneuvered his way to the side. The second he realized.
भाई कोई तो मैडम क्या चिल्ला रही है भाई. आराम से. हेलो. आराम से मैडम.
Pure insanity.
कौन है वो मैडम? Calm down, just a game.
Now catching up in terms of that scoreboard, and as you can see, 1,391 days potentially reset to 0 if Liquid can find 2 rounds in a row.
Alpha, you're playing the game of his life, man. It felt like the all tournament he's been doing that. Yeah, 28 and 18.
मतलब सोवाल्ट के साथ कैसे नहीं लड़ रहे बिल्ले के?
That found so much impact. A 12-3 start. The op maybe didn't find its rhythm in every round, but he just needs one to give Fnatic that leg up, to put them closer to a map 4 and to at least take the pressure off.
Languages.
As now it really feels like Liquid just moments away from that 3-0, knocking on the door, and already this
यहाँ पे दिख रहा था क्या टाइमिंग किया है bro. What the fuck?
Far too big to manage.
भाई वो बेचारा यही लाइन रखा था. 1 सेकंड के हटा के 2 बंदे अप डाउन करके मार्क करके बैठे उसको.
Legendary Liquid lower bracket runs. Something we've seen so many times. Alfie under pressure, he's stunned up, but has managed to hide in the corner. He is completely isolated, completely alone. It's only going to be the one. They need it more from that. Camo, he's had a quiet game, but it would certainly belong to him. And Crashies is even just trying to escape away. Shock darts into the corner. Utility being sent in to deny. And a swing surely coming. The second Purpo has the contact. He doesn't even need the swing. Doesn't even need the help. Nice shot from Crashies, but there's no more of that. Liquid.
Kajak bhai, come on.
1 round away.
Kajak bhai.
From 3-0.
Nice. मैं बोला था कि नहीं Liquid जीतेगा.
And in this round as well, the adaptations clear. That peak from Nats signifies they know your setup, brother. Alfier's had success there. We said how dangerous it's been in previous matchups.
I'm 7, you still can't beat me!
We saw it here as well, and then Nats waits for the flash. Once it pops, he swings, and the trade is there immediately. Very well handled. And if they get another overtime, something for Fnatic to consider. But now's not the time to think about that. The defense, that might have been the last time you get to play. Fnatic have to fight for it. They have to earn another shot as Liquid stand on the precipice of a 3-0 victory over Fnatic that we have not seen for a long, long time.
What is their decision? On both sides
oh
of the map,
my God, वो लोग भी जाने वाले हैं. वो लोग कभी ट्रैप ले वापस.
To a post plant, but those retakes, those fierce, fast retakes out from Liquid. have been a nightmare.
अभी तो ये फेक करके भी मतलब
Send
नहीं है.
Crashies over
क्या
towards
करेगा
this A
ड्रोन
side for
करके?
drone. We've seen this before. Send it through, shock darts to destroy. Purpo not calling for help though. He's seen nothing else.
क्या करेगा? सिर्फ 100 ही देखा था, वही फेक कर रहा है.
This B side, waiting for the push to come in. In fact, a fourth now rotating over. Fnatic are walking straight into the trap. How much could Kayak do? It's nothing.
Oh
But
my
Most is there with the
God.
trade. Even on a stack site, they're managing to hold
Shot.
on. As Vekash is there with another.
Spike planted.
Not dead in the water just yet. Nats misses the shot to start as well. Fnatic might just have bought themselves that extra little bit of time. Another shot at a squad that has never 3-0, never looked this dominant in a matchup, but Fnatic won't let them.
Easy बोलते. One of the best videos जो मजा आ गया देख के. Thank you पलक जी, thank you.
See a change coming as Liquid last round.
है कि नहीं?
Seem to have it all
है कि नहीं?
This was the perfect read as well from Liquid. You have 4 players on a site that Fnatic go walking into.
Perfect read था, लेकिन पहला किल के बाद जो सब कुछ लेफ्ट राइट हुआ है.
Vekash in more ways than one. A brilliant flash that probably should have got them the opener, but even then it's his fragging power that
जी फटी थी?
clears out the back of that site.
Never. Nats गया.
This time Althea is playing much further back, but Kayak is not. That's Nats dealt with in the first few seconds.
Yeah, a little taste of their own medicine there. The early aggression that Liquid have brought to every map so far.
अगर कुछ देख के बोला मैं.
Maybe when it's least expected, and as a result, a 5v4. The Camo has been able to pull back advantages, create so much space, but they are grouping up to deal with them. Nice work by Crashies to trade it out. Numbers still in favor of Fnatic, but no mistakes can be made here. These players on Liquid have already, even individually, won rounds like this, and now they're together. Great damage from Wayne. It's starting to look spooky in a round. Fnatic were favored, and Liquid somehow still have a fight in them.
सुपर चैट में रोहित भाई का किधर है? 3-0 होगा. आप इतने जल्दी नहीं सोच सकते. कहाँ से सोने का 2 घंटे में वो है. एंड कौन सा सोने का? मैंने सुपर चैट आदि मिस इट किया मैंने. सॉरी.
Purpo's coming in from behind. He is locked in a fight. And he doesn't even know he's already lost. Surely Wayne will close it before he even gets backstabbed. And what was a solid start to the round still goes in Liquid's favor.
कोई सीन नहीं. Fnatic attack sided है जितना अपन ने देखा.
So heartbreaking for
3-0. भाई कितना demonetizing हो बे तुम लोग. Hello?
Just being in a position where they were 1 round away from
Alpha
making it to
Zahir,
Santiago
30
yesterday.
kill.
1 round away twice from closing
22
this map out,
से 30
from
kill
continuing
Alpha
the series,
Zahir.
from keeping up the good fight. But now again they have to climb back. A team known for playing from behind. Well, they're behind in the map, behind in the series, and it looks like their look could be running out. 13-14 and a slow paced attack. But the same for Liquid. We've not seen much from this defense in terms of aggression in this round, which is it's scary if you're Fnatic. What are they up to now?
Last time out, Fnatic walked right into the
Demotivating होता है. नहीं मैं ये सब बातें नहीं करता भाई. I don't fats में क्या ये motivating है.
Still remains on B with Miniboo being that rotator, the spike. Set up, postured towards A, and I wonder if they're going to try and almost double down.
2 बंदे spot हुए. क्या call है ये लोग का?
In one direction, and then went back. But the fact is, Liquid have just stopped moving. They've stopped over-rotating, and now Miniboo even starts going back in the other direction. It's the same again. They're going to walk into a stack site with 4 players for the second
Omen blinded नहीं रहेगा तो
just went up there
निकाल पाएंगे.
Now it's going to be 5. Liquid know the hits coming in. They've read it. Fnatic's playbook sometimes open. 30 seconds left. In open view of Team Liquid, but they've got the opening and another Kayak.
Oh my god.
Here, but that's just more.
Oh my god. भाई वो लोग same updraft dash by
overtime. Fnatic clinging on by their fingertips.
That is the second time they have walked into a fully stacked B site.
4, almost 5.
by KO MVP. KO MVP.
Than any other round. Like, this just utility being thrown in as much as possible to give Kayak the chance to find the kills, and he got every single one they needed.
What is that? What the fuck?
Yeah, Alpha's expecting to have some late round impact, and there's nothing left to do.
Bye, please, please, Fnatic, bye, please.
Fnatic fighting again.
इससे ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. अभी अगर OT गया है ना, मैं लिक्विड की साइड पे, मैं भी बोल रहा हूँ. अभी Fnatic तुम्हारे ऊपर है, मेरा साइड चाहिए कि नहीं?
They have hit the gas pedal and their foot's not coming off, but Kayak at least trades out the first fight.
Yeah, true swing up. Wayne wanted to make a play, and now Alfie has taken over to looking to do the damage.
Fnatic needs me.
With standing, it always feels like there's hope. Going for the drone, getting them at least a little bit of information. Both to take it a deeper angle, but left with a solo fight. That operator looking to get back in, and now all that remains is Miniboo. We've seen magical moments from him all the way through this map. But on 70 HP, this might just have to be the best of them. And he has to go moving. The second this tapped, it's not happening. For the first time in a while, Fnatic now have the advantage. And they go on to the attack, which, hey,
अब वो लोग वापस 4-man stack करेंगे उधर, लेकिन अब ये लोग जाएंगे A. वो भी मिड में बकचोदी करने के बाद. हाँ? हाँ?
Ever since before Liquid hit 12.
Goat.
Feels like a long time ago.
I'm not chilling, bro. This time I'm not chilling, bro.
Since Fnatic had the opportunity, you're 33 and 21 Alpha. Nobody is accusing you of chilling.
बाप रे मेरी गांड गई बैठ के.
15 to 14. Liquid won't be taking it chill either. A timeout called for them as now.
That almost 8,000 लोग देख रहे हैं Fnatic को clean जीते हुए. Like कर दो मेरी जान के डटो.
They have perfectly read their opponent. They have got it bang on. They just lost every fight. Like, it's not even like you can go like, oh yeah, we had the misread or we made a misplay. We got wrecked.
क्या guys इस देखो क्यों को मिलता है assist?
The round before it was Vekash. So
क्यों और Brimstone बराबर के लिए ना assist मिलता है?
This is more of just a talk about maybe an idea.
और Viper.
A change up that they can make in that setup on B.
चिचा in chat किधर है चिचा?
But also then it allows the time for the mind games on the other side. Do we make a change or do we just keep going for that B site hit? It has been so successful for Fnatic. Again, I almost want to look back to how Liquid started off the series. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
चूतिया बनाया मेरे को.
Well, Fnatic have certainly
Mords, please take care of that guy.
their experience and the value of it here. A team that, because of the lessons they've been taught in the past, they never give up. That attitude's gotten them far, and now a reverse sweep needed to make it to Santiago, but it starts with this round here. It starts with this map. For Team Liquid, they hope it ends here. But a big battle needed, and again, we're going to see this 3-man stack up towards B, but this time Liquid have doubled down. They brought the Cypher utility from A to B, and if this drone sees nobody, that could
obviously देखेगा.
Spiraling, but that's huge information.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't
Bro बोला था बकचोदी करके मिड टू ए.
It's about timing.
Proper split है, जीत गई है Fnatic.
Currently the defensive side are running around in the storm. They're going back and forth in case they've lost mid control. Maybe thinking this is bait and it's not. Kayak again. It's an opener, but can it be turned by Miniboo? No, just the one this time. Camo already filling in the gap. Needs to turn around to try and find them on the side, and the escape might not be there. He's made it back into the floor. Has found another. Somehow, they once again find an advantage.
Oh, Nats onto Alpha, and Wayne wrapping around. This one's done. Overtime, 15 to 15.
Oh my God, कैसे?
Can we find here on Abyss? It seems endless with the back and forth. I have to say, crazy for Purpo to stand there with the arrow drawn. Could bounce it off the wall, but
By come more Miniboo.
expect to see two players on the other side. The fact that Nats chooses this round to step up, though, it's a statement from Team Liquid. Lowlands looking stressed. Let's call back to the end of the last map where he was giggling and saying, what are we doing? Well, they were winning at 12-10. So now it's certainly getting to him a little bit.
Yeah, Nats is not doing 360 shorty kills anymore. But still, some of the stuff he does is just as ridiculous.
क्या सीन है?
The first defensive round for either side. OT, all is forgotten. The rounds before mean nothing. The hero plays mean nothing. And the game starts once again. And just look at where Alfie's currently sat.
वो लोग रुके हैं मिड पिक के लिए क्या?
Trying to get the right read on where their opponents are and maybe put their turret into the right place. Camo looking for that same early battle his opponents found just moments ago, and well, his ability to escape has dissipated, but he's just left.
Bro, वो लोग निकल गए.
There's a fight with Nats going down inside of mid. They've lost their flank protection. It's time to speed up, but right into the Vice setup, and it's nice and passive as well from Alpha. Like you said, Kayak instead of
एक मार दे, बस मिनिमम मार दे.
said that there'd been trouble when it came to this setup.
बाप रे, कजक कितना क्लीन है बे. नहीं जीत लेकिन जीत गए.
Unless this impressive start, an even more impressive finish, a win
भाई देख के थक गया बे.
with 20 seconds left on the clock, a spike down as well. It's impossible. It has to be. He can't even take that refract.
नहीं possible नहीं.
On time alone, 16 to 15. Another shot for Fnatic.
Not even close.
Oh, that is the
2000 kills हो गए. W.
It puts them now at a round deficit, and the main takeaway for me is there were moments ago where we were looking at Alpha, so far and above.
मिनिबू अगर वो किल मारता तो शायद कुछ होता. लेकिन बहुत एडवांटेज था फिर.
I got you boys on B. That's my side. That's my side.
The defensive hold there.
W. क्या रिवर्स हो रहा है? एक्चुअल में पॉसिबल है.
On that Fnatic side have stepped up. The question is, can they close? That has been the problem so far. Either side have had their opportunities. For Liquid, it would be taking them.
It is spelled as Kajak.
That first Masters of the year. For Fnatic, it's the first of 3 maps needed in a monumental fight back, and they go back to the B side. It's where they've been successful, but they need Kayak to stay alive, and while Vekaj is gone.
Random spam में मारा यार. बाप रे. अबे डोमिनोज क्या डोमिनोज? बंद हो गया डोमिनोज. इतना ओवरटाइम गए हो तुम.
The big resurgence needed. Even that kill on the Nats unlikely to bring them anywhere.
सीधा एने तक चलेगा लग रहा है.
And the flank now known to be coming through. They are boxed in. They've got to come out swinging with no real chance. It's 16 to 16. You know what? Let's go again. Another overtime. These teams impossible to separate. But again, as these rounds go on for Liquid, it's like, well, we got 2 more. You know, we can still win this. We got 2 more to go. Whatever.
जाओ सब लोग खाना वाना लेके आओ, जूस वूस लेके आओ भाई.
It's got to be burning.
Hey, हम लोग लंबा यहाँ पे.
Bro, I just want this game to
हाँ, दुरंदर मूवी चल रही है. 3 घंटे तक इधर ही अपन.
You don't mean
You don't care if you go 3rd map?
He said 5. He said 5. I don't care.
जब तक सारे लोग 30 किल मारेंगे, लोग एंड नहीं करेंगे. ऐसा कुछ तो है. ऐसा कुछ तो है. बड़ी.
A nice little pop flash, but a nice little bit of tickle damage to start off the round. 3 players already here on A. 2 watching.
मैं तो खा के आग भी दिया. Language.
And while they're not going to push now, they're going to have to wait a moment with losing those abilities on the way in.
Yeah, luckily I don't think Camo had put anything down. You saw him about to use his dash.
It's the cage क्यों डाला? Oh.
Goodness Nats! The first was just to deal with a guy with no armor. The headshot. Well, that was the cherry on top of the cake.
You talk about Fnatic burning the midnight.
Huh?
The only shot that's landing is with a bow and arrow. Finally, that guy gets in there for 1. But Team Liquid and Nats with the outlaw.
Bro, hello?
I can't believe they've gotten away with that, snuffing out the flames of Fnatic at 17 to 16. Series and Santiago point for Liquid.
This was crazy as well. Like just the reaction shot from Camo. But find me another man on planet Earth who plays Cypher.
Don't pick me on me.
Who you see him buy an outlaw in OT and push mid and you go, yeah, actually, that's probably the right play. Like, there is no one else. There's no one that does that. And that was purely to
भाई 2 बंदे वो भी अल्फा जर और कजाक दोनों 30 किल वाले टॉप फ्रैगर ब्रह्मांड के. दोनों टर्न्ड ऑन है.
Liquid look to close.
वो दोनों को इससे मारा.
Where are we going again?
It's one thing to look at the gall of Liquid, the defensive aggression that we saw, but that play right there underlines it. It's what Nats is known for. He's had to temper his aggression over time. People figured out how he likes to play, and we always said that would be his downfall. Once people realized, well, obviously he's always behind you, but he's reinvented himself again and again, and now as a leader, he's looking to keep up the streak of internationals. A strong start, but Fnatic not pulling any blows. This means as much to them as it does to Liquid, but it might not matter. A 3 versus 2. Writing some checks for himself on backside, and it looks like his
Oh my god, bro, निकाल लिया वो लोग ने मैप.
defeat to Fnatic that Fnatic have never seen in this rivalry. Back to 2021, they traded series, but a flawless best of 5
Let's go!
for the history books.
When they first fell.
Let's go Liquid.
I sat there looking
Let's go Liquid.
There's no way.
Come on, chant after me, baby. Let's go Liquid.
5 games in a row versus
बोला था.
a new build super team versus a legendary Fnatic versus Mini Boo's brother.
बोला था.
A bunch of players he's very used to, but they went through them one.
Oh my god, trash team. कैसे लगा trash team के सामने तुम्हारा गोट टीम इतना ओटी जाते हुए? हाँ, कैसे लगा? कैसे लगा?
Yesterday, and I was thinking, oh, well, maybe this is the end of the journey. And then in the games today,
भाई बोला तो था.
a dominant victory on their opponent's map choice with a new comp.
साले तो मेरे जैसे निकला बे. Fnatic का नाम काट के Liquid लिखा उसने 3-0.
Run back and forth again and again. This team digs deep. This team improves, and this team deserves their spot over at Masters.
Oh my god.
First time we've seen this many rookies.
भाई कितने टीम को लेके जाएगा बे Nats Masters को?
To the global stage, EMEA with BBL and mates round out with some experience on Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Some to that stage. Liquid with a dominant 3-0 best of 5. They take the final and the final ticket to Santiago with it.
भाई नाट्स ने उधर मिड में जो 2 मारा ना, हैवी लगा. सेक्सी खेला था Liquid, लेकिन इतना नहीं, मतलब एक्सपेक्टेड था. भाई Fnatic को कल ही खत्म कर देना चाहिए था यार. हाँ.
This is a rebuild that had some risks about it. They made every single international last year. Still opted to bring in some youngsters, bring in players like Wayne, who we hadn't seen in the tier 1 before. Get Mini Boo.
भाई जितने भी लोग हेट कर रहे हैं ना बोस्टर भाई को, बिंदास, लेकिन हल्का सा देखना कि उसके पास ट्रॉफी कितने और अपने पास प्लेयर्स कितने. बस इतना ही बोलूंगा और कुछ नहीं. पलट के उसने ट्रोल किया तो बोलना नहीं. फाफा सॉरी.
Nats, of course, there was no doubt the ability of this man Camo.
Nats giga threat.
Duelist as well.
Full हो रहा है बे.
But it seems like once again, this Liquid squad
Full
is
हो
heading
रहा
to
है.
an international, and hey, if they do the trifecta once more, who is to doubt the players? Who is to doubt the coaches? Who is
No
to
hate,
doubt
never.
everybody behind the scenes? This team
You can never hate Boaster, dude.
is in their path.
That certainly seems to be the case. Team Liquid with an impressive and historic victory.
Nats है. लेकिन मेरे को आज पता, मेरे को वाइब आया था Liquid जीतेगा.
Continues for FNC. Meanwhile, Liquid keep
मेरे को आज heavy smell आया था Liquid जीतेगा करके. पता नहीं.
is going to have a lot of representation from EMEA. The world better watch out, especially for these two. Lou, take it away with Nats and Master Wayne.
Thank you, Tom and Mitch, once again.
Nats बोलते. What's up?
Team Liquid are the third and
Why
last
don't
team
you
that
sleep
we're
yet?
sending to Master Santiago. Congratulations, Wayne and Nats, first of all. And Nats, you guys came back from so far. You know, you dropped in the lower bracket almost 2 weeks ago.
ब्रो वो जो बंदा था, मैं बोले ये मेरे जैसा भोसड़ी का मेरे ही बंदा है बे. चैट हेलो क्या किसने देखा? हाँ भाई वो मेरे ही बंदा है। सुनने दे गाफ तेरी, सुनने दे। किधर है वो? स्पीच सुनने का है इधर। मैं इतना मोटिवेशनल स्पीच देता, वो सुनने नहीं होता है। किधर है वो? किधर है वो? किधर है? पहले कि बाद में? इसके पहले ही आता है कि बाद में आता है? बाद में आता है। यहाँ पे किधर तो आता है? यहाँ पे किधर तो आता है? यहाँ पे किधर तो आता है? गाली थी अरे गांडू। मॉड्स पता लगाना। आया तो था अभी, किधर आया? अभी आएगा। किधर है? किधर गया? ट्रॉफी के टाइम पे, ट्रॉफी के टाइम पे। अभी आएगा, अभी आएगा, अभी आएगा, अभी आएगा ना? कब है? तब से नॉर्मल चैट में लिख रहा था, मॉड ने भी लिखा तो इग्नोर किया, तब से पिंक दी, व्हाट्सएप किया, चलो तब तो देखा। किधर है वो? किधर है वो? लेकिन किधर है वो? ट्रॉफी से पहले पीछे गया? कहाँ पीछे गया? मैं अंधा हूँ क्या? यहाँ पे जीते ये लोग। किधर है? किधर है? किधर गया? थोड़ा आगे। हैंडशेक के पहले ये रहा गांडू। पकड़ा इसको, पकड़ा इसको। फेनेटिक कार्ड के लिक्विड लिखा है उसने 3-0 और गाली भी लिखा है तेरे काफ में हत्ती का। हाँ हैशटैग भी लिखा है बे। उसके आसपास वालों को किसको नहीं मालूम इसने क्या लिखा है? देख रहे हो? और ये जानबूझकर चिढ़ा रही है ऐसा करके, 2 रुपए का सुपर चैट नहीं किया लेकिन हेट दिया करके यहाँ पे। देख रहे हो गाइस? वरना ऐसा होना चाहिए था क्योंकि 3-0 है। उसने ऐसा जानबूझकर किया, जानबूझकर किया ऐसा। एक हैशटैग बराबर है बस। अच्छा लव यू यार, लव यू यार। कौन है ये भाई? इतना तो मालूम पड़ गया कि आज के दिन ये वहां पे जाके देख रहा है, वो भी अकेले, क्योंकि बाजू में चेंबर है। मतलब सिंगल एज फक। हाँ एकदम डाउन टू अर्थ सिंगल बंदा है। कौन है ये? मैं हूं, चुप रहो। एकदम अंडरग्राउंड सिंगल बंदा है ये। अकेला गया लाइन पे, कोई नहीं बे। आसपास चेंबर। हाँ इसने भी कल देखा था। एक्सक्यूज मी, ये मैंने। असली का कौन है ये? असली का कौन है? असली का कौन है? डब्ल्यू बेबी, आई होप तेरे को मजा आया रहेगा लैंड पे। ये क्या है? ड्रॉ।
course.
क्या हो रहा है?
Pacific.
किसका है हम लोग का? पैसिफिक का किसका है?
All right, pool number 2. Let's go. Either KC or Ulf. Which one will it be?
ये जो दो इसमें भी ये जो घुमा रहा है ना ऐसा,
Group Alpha.
हाँ भैया जी है ही उसमें दो.
Of course. Ulf Esports. Into Group Omega. Pool number 3 is going to have Navi and GX to see who's going to join Group Alpha.
पहले वाले में नावी, दूसरे वाले में GX. पहला वाला ग्रुप खतरनाक लग रहा है चैट अल्फा.
And that means GX is going to Group Omega.
पहला वाला खतरनाक लग रहा है.
Okay, this is going pretty quick.
क्या मटा अंधा है क्या रे?
Heretics or Vitality?
हाँ
Heretics
लग गया.
into Group Alpha. And Vitality.
इजी फॉर वाइटलिटी अभी तक.
Omega. That was not on purpose, guys.
Yeah.
It happens. Don't worry about it. It's a 50-50 chance anyway.
True.
Fnatic and Liquid are going to be in a pool.
बाजू का जंपर में हो बिंग्स भाई, बिग फैन. लैंग्वेज.
That's Liquid.
That's Liquid.
Joining Group Alpha.
टफ है थोड़ा सा.
Fnatic.
वापस वो होने वाला है Fnatic वर्सेस Fnatic.
Pool 6, BBL and Gentlemen, the top seeds of VCT EMEA Kickoff. Ooh, who's gonna join Group Alpha?
पहले वे जेंटलमेट्स.
Oh, I think I saw. Yes, it's Gentlemen.
ग्रुप अल्फा के लग गए. स्ट्रेट अप.
And that leaves
स्ट्रेट अप ग्रुप अल्फा का अपना जैसा सीन है.
Group Omega alongside Fnatic, Vitality, GX, Ulf, and Pacific.
हाँ.
And Group Alpha is going to be Gentlemen's Liquid, Heretics, Navi,
ग्रुप अल्फा का अपना जैसा सीन है.
as well as Foot Esports. Thank you so much, Jankut, for making this possible.
चलो अभी अपन मिलेंगे एनए में. होपफुली तब तक एनर्जी रहे. चलो गाइस, बाय बाय adios, adios. See you at 3:30 for the final watch party of the final kickoff of the final best of 5 energy champs of the world, winners of the champs versus
I find you a star, and we could be in love, lighting up the dark. But there's nothing I can do. I can never get to you. So I'm looking for a miracle. Like if somebody be so beautiful, yeah. It's only a dream. It's how I feel. You deserve better than